Hello?
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Lee's Summit, Missouri at Lee's Summit North High School. We bring you homecoming night for the St. Michael the Archangel Guardians. Tonight, their opponent, Southeast High School from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Jeremy Wood along with George Big Country Howard. And we're happy to be bringing all the action to you here this evening. As you see the SMA Guardian dance team out on the field, we have what figures to be, or we hope to be, a very competitive game tonight between St. Michael the Archangel and Southeast. Coming into this game, St. Michael the Archangel riding a 2-game winning streak. They are 2-3 after starting off the season 0-3. They finally have kind of hit their stride and won a couple of games big, 49-20 over Central High School, and then last week, I'm looking at the wrong schedule. Last week they played Diamond, Missouri, and won that game 56-14. So the
blowout game last week.
Last week it was 42-0 at halftime, and then Diamond was able to put a couple of scores on the board in the second half, but ultimately 56-14. They started the season off against Summit Christian Academy and lost that one 31-13, then fell to St. Pius X 21-13. St. Mary's Colgan, they lost 38-24, and then, like I said, started turning it around on the 26th of September against Central, 49-20, a game in which they led 28-0 at halftime, and then last week 56-14, where they led 42-0 at halftime. So they have turned it up. The offense has been clicking over the last couple of weeks for the Guardians. Tonight they face Southeast, who comes into the game with a record of 3-3. Now on the internet it says 4-3, but when you look at their schedule, all I could find was 6 games. So if you're a Southeast fan watching tonight and I'm missing a game, I apologize, but I'm going to read off the scores for what they've done over the last 6 games because that's all I could find. Here's a common opponent. They both have played Central, the Blue Eagles. And on the 26th, like I said, that was when the Guardians got their first win and won 49-20. And the first game of the season for Southeast was against Central, and they won that game 19-12. So it's hard to judge it. Both teams, SMA gave up 20. One of those was on a 99-yard pick-6 return. But they gave up, essentially, the defense gave up 14 points. And then Southeast gave up 12 to Central, but only scored 19. So, that early in the season, maybe the offense wasn't ticking, but the defensive performance of both teams very similar. Then they played Cameron and lost that game 42-0. They lost to Van Horn 55-13. They lost to Lexington 22-6, and then lost to East, they won actually against East 26-20, and then beat Agape Boarding in Stockton, Missouri 42-6, which brings us to tonight. Their future games are against Summit Christian Academy and Lincoln College Prep. Next week for the Guardians, Hogan Prep Charter, and then they were supposed to play Clever, Missouri, but we understand that team has, they're not playing them. So we will see how that goes and if they're able to replace that opponent later on in the season, or if they may be finishing out with Hogan Prep. So, again, I'm Jeremy Wood, joined with George Howard in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Jerry Wood is here also running the scoreboard for us tonight. You see, we've got that down there. We're going to try something with a clock tonight, so bear with us. Real quick, let's turn it over to the stadium announcer for the national anthem and all the information on homecoming. Here we go.
St. Michael the Archangel Guardian football team.
Is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Here come the Guardians of St. Michael the Archangel. So the Purge announcement from the movies out of Hollywood. It's different. Again, they enter this contest 2-3. Southeast, as far as we know, is 3-3. So this one we're hoping will be a competitive football game between these two high school teams on homecoming night, Friday Night Lights here in Lee Summit, Missouri at Lee Summit North High School. Tonight, the home field of the St. Michael the Archangel Guardians. Shortly, we'll have the national anthem. We'll make sure to shut up and listen in on that, as well as any announcements to get us going before the game, as well as our prayer before the game with SMA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lee Summit North High School. Please stand for our opening prayer, followed by our national anthem. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Father in heaven, we ask your blessing on the game we are about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play this game in a manner which by our words and our actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with a respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the players, coaches, officials, parents, and our alumni from Archbishop O'Hara High School, from St. Mary's High School, and our alumni from St. Michael the Archangel Guardians High School. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us during this game. We ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Now please face the flag. Place your right hand over your heart as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the broadcast. We are at Lee Summit High School, Lee Summit North High School, rather, in Lee Summit, Missouri. Tonight's game features the St. Michael the Archangel Guardians coming into tonight at 2-3 versus the Southeast Knights, the high school from Kansas City, Missouri. Looking at some statistics here, the offense of St. Michael's the Archangel certainly looks more potent. We're not sure if these stats are complete for Southeast, but based on some of the scoring that we read off earlier, it very well could be accurate, pulling these off of maxpreps.com. 2-3 and 3-3 passing per game for St. Michael, 164.2, 130 for Southeast, 195, almost 200 yards a game on the ground for St. Michael, 76 for Southeast. Total offense 359.8 to 207.6. You see the points per game averages 31 for St. Michael, 17.7 for Southeast. And the opponents score about 25 points per game on the Guardians, whereas they score a little over 26 on Southeast. So we hope to have, like I said, a very competitive game tonight, but you never know in high school football.
I would say so, Jeremy. You never really know. You never really know. I'll say this. I walked down to the field doing warm-ups, did a little size check. Them boys bigger than me.
And Big Country has his nickname, Big Country, for a reason. So, yeah, we're curious, just like you, to see exactly what this Southeast team is made of, and we will find out shortly. Again, tonight is homecoming, so at halftime we'll have a performance from the dance team of SMA, and then we'll also have some alumni recognition and the crowning of the homecoming king and queen. Coming out to the field as captain for SMA is Caleb Berry, the big senior, and then for Southeast it is Martez Hall, who plays quarterback and defensive back. SMA wins the coin toss but has deferred the kickoff, so it looks like Southeast will receive. They're heading south. If you're watching on the screen, that's facing south, and SMA will be heading north as they go to the 50-yard line and get their rules. Again, we're happy to bring this game to you. Now you see our stats down at the bottom or the scoreboard. We're trying to do a clock thing tonight where we show off where you can kind of follow the clock. It's not exactly connected to the scoreboard, so from time to time you'll see that resetting, and we're going to try to keep it as close, but we want people to be able to see how much time is remaining in the quarters and in halves. So we're going to do our best to bring you a clock tonight, which we haven't done before. We always just kind of read it off, but tonight we're going to try to bring it to you as close as we possibly can.
I think it'll work.
I think it will. My dad's here running it, and if you know my dad, everything he does with technology is perfect. It's kind of like giving a monkey a knife. Something bad probably will happen. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, so back to receive for the Knights is number 6, Dremel Jackson. As SMA is huddling up, getting ready to do their thing on the field.
Doesn't this feel good, Jeremy? Back Friday night lights.
Friday night.
Nice warm weather. Feel like some football about to happen.
We have called for SMA. The last couple of games have been 1 o'clock on Saturdays. They feel more like, college football times. This feels like high school football. To kick off will be Max Ellis, the sophomore.
For our homecoming game, kicking off for the Guardians, number 6, Max Ellis.
Gets a standing ovation from the crowd here.
And I will say we have a bigger crowd than normal. Jackson County has allowed more people into the stands than previous. So we have more people here tonight than usual, and that's nice to have the fans back in the seats as well. Here's the kickoff from Ellis. A deep kickoff, kind of a line drive, fielded by Jackson at about the 4-yard line. He comes across the 10 and is met there by number 10. Now last week, number 10 was not Keaton Edgerton. It was last name Roby, I believe. So I'm not sure if we got the jersey swap in effect again tonight. So we'll have to check with SMA to find out. Now this is interesting. As you look at Southeast, they have some big kids on that team. Number 15, Devon Dudley, is a freshman, and he's a giant. And we were watching him in warm-ups, and he can flat out throw the ball. But they elect to hand off this time. And
very interesting play call here. I definitely would have thought they would have aired it out. I mean, literally like you just said.
After we saw him warming up, we thought we might see some aerial attack from the Knights tonight, but instead they hand off to Martez Hall.
Like I said, folks, I went down to the field, and I had to look up.
He's a big kid, and if he is a freshman, that's frightening. And we got a fumble on the field. It's knocked free from number 5, Martez Hall, and the Guardians are in business at the 9-yard line.
Well, this has been a shift of momentum here.
Yeah, wow.
It took 2 plays into the first quarter.
At the Southeast 8-yard line.
So on the field comes Dylan Zahn at the 9-yard line. He's in the shotgun. Sends Ellis Edwards in motion. It's a fake handoff to Edwards. And Zahn is up the middle to the 4, maybe the 4-yard line. So it will be
Quarterback keeper by number 3, Dylan Zahn. Gain of
About
4
2nd and
yards on the
4
play.
from there as they had 1st and 9 from the 9-yard line. Ellis Edwards in the backfield just to Zahn's left. 3 receivers. This time the handoff to Edwards, who scampers in. Touchdown! SMA!
Ellis Edwards for a Guardian touchdown.
So just like that, a 4-yard touchdown run from Ellis Edwards after the fumble from Martez Hall, and it is 6-0.
Point for the Guardians, number 6, Max Ellis.
Guardians on homecoming night here.
It looked like a team showed up ready to play tonight, huh, Jeremy?
They did. Kick is good, and that makes it 7-0 with 10:52 in the first quarter. Already the Guardians in business, leading 7-0 after the fumble from Martez Hall. The Guardians fall on it at the 9, and in 2 plays between Dylan Zahn as well as Ellis Edwards, they cover those 9 yards, and you get a 4-yard touchdown scamper from Edwards, making it 7-0 just like that.
Well, there's some good and bad here, Jeremy. The good, you know, you can definitely retrace and, you know, regather yourself to go in and get back and see if you can do it again, have a better series. The bad, SMA scored.
Yeah. Yeah, Southeast, I think, was hoping for a better start to the game than what just happened.
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
But got 10 minutes left. Anything could happen.
Dremel Jackson back to receive again. He stands on his own 8-yard line. Max Ellis to kick off. 7-0, 10:52 remaining in the first quarter. Ellis up and kicks this time a little bit better than a line drive, and Jackson fumbles the kick but picks it up at about the 5. Now he's across the 10, gets into the middle and squirts up, and now he's at the 30. The 35, 40, 50, and Jackson may go.
What 40, I say, Jeremy?
30, 20, 10, touchdown, Southeast Knights.
Off the kickoff. What I tell you. What I tell you.
Just like that.
4-yard touchdown return on the kickoff.
And just like that, the Southeast Knights put numbers on the board as Dremel Jackson with a 94-yard kickoff return. And there's a little bit, what was electricity going through the crowd now is kind of some mumbling and murmuring. What just happened? He looked, for all intents and purposes, looked like a couple of times he was going to be tackled, but he just kept those legs moving, and Jackson is the kicker for the PAT, so he can account for all 7 points here. Snap is back, the ball down is good. Right through the middle as Jackson is a straight-on toe kicker.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a while. I've always seen the soccer style. You don't see that too often these days.
7-7 is our score.
That's how my dad used to kick.
Oh, I'm sorry, the PAT wasn't any good. See, my dad's already correcting me. Been up here for a grand total of a minute and a half. My dad's already getting on to me. 7-6 our score.
Kicking off for the Knights, number 3, Rayford Parks. Back deep for the Guardians, number 22.
Rayford Parks to kick off. Ellis Edwards back to receive and return for the Guardians as we're trying to get this whole little app thing figured out. As you see, 7-6, 10:33 remaining in the first quarter. Parks kick, straight on kick, soccer style kick. This one's going to be returned by John Morris at about the 20-yard line. He gets up to the 25 and maybe to the 29 after forward progress is stopped there.
By number 1, Johnny Morris. Tackled by number 21, Malachi Edwards. Guardians take over 1st and 10. at their own 29-yard line.
First down and 10, 29-yard line. Let's see what Zahn and company can come up with as they've got to drive a little bit further, this time 71 yards instead of 9. Zahn with a tight formation behind him, 2 guys in the backfield, 2 receivers to his right. The handoff is to Edwards. Edwards is across the 30 and pushes forward to about the 35-yard line, so he picks up 5 on the first handoff.
Not a bad play call there. Just kind of give it and go and see what you can pick up. Positive yardage, not a bad play call.
Second down and 4 Guardians at the 35-yard line.
Zahn in the shotgun this time. 2 receivers right and left. Edwards in the backfield. The handoff or the snap is good. Back to Edwards, who catches it in the flat. He's on the 40, crosses good for the first down and out to the 45-yard line.
Pass complete for number 3, Zahn, to number 22. Ellis Edwards gain of 10 yards.
So right there, that was a screen there, Jeremy.
For a Guardian first down.
10-yard gain and gets him first down and 10 with 9:50 now remaining in the first quarter. Zahn now with a big set of receivers over on his right side. Haggerty to the bottom of the screen. We're going to have offsides from the southeast.
Penalty on the play.
That's going to give them 5 yards and make it 1st and 5 from the 50. So SMA is moving the ball.
For the Guardians at midfield. Pitch to number 28, Caleb Griggs. Gain of 9 on the play.
Caleb Griggs on the pitch, gain of 9. It's going to make it a first down after the gain of 5 on the penalty. So the Guardians continuing to move, and their offense, just like it has the past couple of weeks, is on fire to get started.
I would say so. They're making some really great decisions here.
Zahn in the shotgun, hands off to Ellis. Ellis across the 40. He's got room. He's got to the 30 and down to the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 26. Big gain for Ellis Edwards, who has got great feet, great field vision. 15-yard gain, moves it all the way down to the 26. Another first down, 7-6 here in the first quarter. Zahn now with 2 running backs behind him, 1 in the right, Ellis in the behind him, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the top. Handoff to Edwards again, this time across the 20. And down to the 10 as maybe the 11 as he's thrown out of bounds. They're going to mark him down at the 12 with the clock continuing to move at 8:40 in the first quarter.
I would say about this kid, when he sees a hole, he does not hesitate. He hits it and he is gone.
Yeah, he's a very patient runner back there for the Guardians. He's going to take a break. That brings in number 17, Jacob Edmondson, and number 28 in the backfield, Caleb Briggs. Zahn hands it off to Briggs. Briggs right up the middle, and a fumble on the ground. And it looks like Southeast has recovered. They have at the 10-yard line. This one is picked up by number 3, Rayford Parks. Briggs was hit hard right where he was holding the football, and it pops out. Rayford Parks with the recovery on the 10, and Southeast back on the field.
And that's such a drive killer there. They was having really good momentum and push and just really getting themselves down the field. That's such a drive killer to have that fumble.
Guardians were really on the move there, and now big Devon Dudley comes back out on the field. Let's see if they throw. Nope. Hand off to Martez Hall, and he might gain a yard or 2 out of that.
I'm waiting to see it, Jeremy.
Yeah, like we said, we were watching him, and he was just nonchalantly flicking 35 and 40-yard passes during warm-ups.
I don't even think his foot left the ground.
Julius Foster, the head coach, has not elected to air one out yet and staying on the ground. We've got 2nd down and 8 with the ball on the 12. Again, another handoff. Started on the inside, pops it outside. That's Martez Hall, and he's got enough for a first down as he brings it out to about the 25-yard line. They mark him officially at the 24.
13 on the play. Tackled by number 50. Jackson Wimberly. That play's good enough for a first down. 1st and 10. At the 24-yard line. Jackson.
A little pass there to Dremel Jackson. Doesn't pick up much. They get 4 on it. It's going to make it 2nd down and 6 to go. And the clock continues to move with 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Big Dudley, Devon Dudley, the freshman quarterback, calling out the plays. He's in the shotgun. This time he pitches it out to Martez Hall. Hall across the right side of the line and picks up a couple of yards. He might be close to a first down, maybe a yard shy there. So it's going to be 3rd down and maybe 1 to go.
He has 7 on the plate, good enough for a night first down. 1st and 10 for Southeast at their own 34-yard line.
1st and 10, 34-yard line. Now Dudley with 2 running backs to his side and 1 behind him, 2 receivers out wide. The handoff is going to go to Martez Hall, who breaks a tackle, stumbles, and gets it up maybe for a gain of 4 yards. And the clock continues to go here with 7 to 6, our score.
Gain of 5 yards on the play.
It'll be 2nd down and 5 with the ball on the 39-yard line of the Knights. 3 receivers now out to the left of Dudley. The running back next to him and 1 receiver up to his right. As he surveys the defense of the Guardians, he takes the snap out of the shotgun. He's going to pass. This goes to Ray Parks in the backfield. He's met pretty quickly by some Guardians, but he's still able to move forward and gets it up just shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 to go.
Gain of 5 on the play, good enough for a night first down.
Oh, they're giving him the first.
They gave him the first down. It looked like he was a yard short, but they mark it forward a yard. And so it's 1st down and 10 now from the 44. Dudley with 4 receivers to his right.
I think we know what's coming. I think we know what's coming.
We may get to see the arm of this guy finally. We saw it in practice, but haven't seen it really yet. Here's the snap, and just a little toss out, and he overthrows Parks as a shot out to the side.
I think he just got a little excited there.
Yeah, and he had a defender in the backfield. He had to throw the ball over his hands. So Amir Carter in the backfield made Dudley alter his throw. So with 5:02 here in the first quarter.
Intended to throw a pass behind the line of scrimmage.
We're listening.
Runner, that is considered a fumble out of bounds. That's a 4-yard loss.
Okay, so we're hearing that he threw it behind. It's considered a fumble because he threw it behind the runner, and so it's a 4-yard loss. Here's the handoff to Martez Hall, who gains maybe 3 on the play, trying to get it back.
Handoff to number 5, Martez Hall. Gain of 3 on the play. Tackled there by number 4, Amir Carter. 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11 to go with the ball on the 43-yard line. Dudley getting the play call in from his coach on the side.
This is the perfect down or distance where they'll have to air it out here. I don't see a run play coming.
3 receivers to his right, 1 to the top. Scott looks like Parks just in the backfield with him. As Dudley is waiting, and I think they're going to call a timeout. So we will set the clock and get it right here finally.
Southeast.
See how close we can get this. For those of you that didn't hear, we're playing around with this little scoreboard app, seeing if we can actually get the game clock on the screen for you. You see 4:16 left here in the first quarter, so it's going to be a little erratic, but we'll try. Ball resting at the 43, so the way it's gone so far, the Knights received the kickoff, and there was a fumble on the 9-yard line for Martez Hall, recovered by the Guardians. Dylan Zahn runs 5 yards, then Ellis Edwards moves in from 4 yards out for the score, and the PAT is good. Then on the ensuing play, Dremel Jackson, a 94-yard kickoff return, made it 6-6, and Jackson, who's also the kicker, missed the field goal, or the PAT, and made it 7-6, so that's where we set right now. 3 receivers out wide on the right, 1 across the top. Dudley's going to throw it. There's the arm over the middle to Ray Parks at the 35, 30, 20, 10.
I think he's gone,
touchdown.
Jeremy. Woo, that was the arm he was looking at.
That's what we were talking about. What we saw in the warm-ups from Devon Dudley was a strong arm. And this time from, well, let's say 57-yard touchdown pass from Devon Dudley. And it is all of a sudden a football game for the Guardians in the first half, which they have not faced in quite a while, or at least over the last couple of weeks, as they led 28-0 at half in one game and 42-0 in the second. It's a fake. PAT. Dremel Jackson is going to be stopped as he continues to move forward. Looked like he was going to be stopped at the 10-yard line. Still managed to pick up about 7 yards after hitting the 10, but the PAT is going to be no good. So that makes our score 12-7 right now, and the Knights have the lead. And Devon Dudley, the freshman quarterback, very, very interesting. It's going to be seeing how this goes, as he has a fantastic arm and some speedy receivers.
And he knew exactly who he was going to. I mean, he knew the receiver, the hot route. There was not a safety over the top, so he knew he was going to be wide open over the middle.
And Sister Stephen Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist.
4:07 remaining here in the first quarter. 12-7 our score. Ellis Edwards will be back to receive, along with John Paul Murphy and John Morris. And it's going to be Parks kicking off, the man who caught the touchdown and ran it in as he received it at about the 35-yard line. So a 22-yard pass and then a 35-yard run from Parks for the touchdown. So 2 home runs for the Knights, a 94-yard kickoff return and a 57-yard pass completion for a touchdown between Dudley and Parks. John Paul Murphy reception at about the 22, and he scoots forward up to about the 34-yard line of the Guardians.
Kick return by number 82, John Paul Murphy, taken out to the 34-yard line. Guardians take over 1st and 10.
So what are you thinking right here, Jeremy, for your SMA?
I think you got to stay calm. You know, you got to stay calm. You don't know if Dudley is, composed when the game gets down to. So stay to your game.
Yeah, it's early. It's
very early, so don't get crazy and do something silly. Stay calm. Zahn rolls out, hits Michael Haggerty at about the 40-yard line, and that's where he's going to be brought down. So a pickup of about 6 yards on that play.
It's a good little pass and catch.
7 Michael Haggerty, gain of 6 yards on the play.
Ball at the 40-yard line, 2nd and 4, 3:40 and ticking here in the first quarter. Zahn in the shotgun, Edwards behind him, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Zahn looking over the defense, calls for the ball, he gets it, he's going to pitch it out to Edwards across the 40, and he's got room. He's at the 50 and down at the 44-yard line of the Knights. So good for a first down and a big run for Ellis Edwards.
Just like we've been saying, he sees these holes, downhill immediately.
Edwards is just a very patient runner from what I've seen. He waits, finds what he's needing, and then goes. Zahn under center, hands off to Edwards, who this time just goes right up the middle and somehow or another picks up yardage. There is no way. He looked like he was going to be stopped for maybe a gain of 1, and then he goes ahead and picks up about 8 yards. That's going to be good for a first down.
2nd down and 3. Tackle on the play by number 2, Cameron Stacker.
Cameron Stacker on the tackle. Zahn back in the shotgun.
Drive killers.
We've got an offsides call here. on the Knights, and not a drive killer in this case for them, but a drive enhancer for the Guardians as they pick up 5 yards without having to do anything.
There you go. Better choice of words.
Yeah.
I was speaking from Southeast perspective.
Yeah. Edwards on the pitch across the 30 down to about the 25-yard line. As the clock keeps moving here in the first quarter.
Gain of 6 on the play. Tackled by number 3, Rayford Parks.
Getting close to 2 minutes. It's on the 26-yard line, second down and 4.
For the Guardians at the 20.
Now, that was a good word, Jeremy. Drive enhancer.
Drive enhancer. It's like a PED. Are you tested for PEDs? Zahn out of the shotgun. He was going to pass, and he's going to get sacked in the backfield. The ball pops loose. It was a fumble, but stopped in the backfield there by Tyler McQuarters, and that's a gigantic loss as the ball goes from the 26 back to the 40. A 14-yard loss for the Guardians as Zahn just could not escape McQuarters.
It'll be third down and 18 for the Guardians at the 40.
12-7 the score. Zahn in the shotgun. Edwards to his right. 3 receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom. Zahn receives the snap. He's looking for his reliable target. That's Haggerty, who's open down the sideline, and it's just out of his reach.
Pass from number 3, Dylan Zahn, intended for number 87.
And he was open. Bring that ball back a yard, and you've got a touchdown.
Well, he was definitely under pressure there, Jeremy, so we had to get rid of it pretty quick.
Ball still on the 14-yard line. That's going to make it 4th and 18, or 40-yard line. It's going to make it 4th down and 18 to go. And they're going to go for it. Zahn out of the shotgun. They're running the exact same play. This time it's Ethan Morris. And he was wide open down the sideline, and Zahn just overshot him, so Southeast takes over on downs at the 40-yard line.
See, plays like that, Jeremy, they call them gimmies. Definitely got to make a completion there.
Yeah, boy, that's 2 right there in a row that Zahn just barely overthrew his receivers, who were both wide open right down the left side of the field. Those would have been waltzes into the end zone as both receivers had both of them had beaten their defenders. 1:12 left here in the first quarter.
And you know what, Jeremy? We got a really good game on our hands.
We do, unlike the last couple of weeks where the Guardians just mauled their opponents. This week they've got a little bit of a fight on their hand. Dudley receives the snap, and he's going to hand it off here to number 28. Robert Yancey, and Yancey is fighting for everything he can get and picks up 4 yards on it, and he looked like he was going to be tackled in the backfield. So these Knights have got a little bit of fight in them.
And off to number 28, Robert Yancey. Gain of 4. Second down and 6 at the 44.
Second and 6 at the 44-yard line for the Knights. Dudley with 2 running backs in the backfield with him. Hands the ball off to Yancey again, and Yancey is this time stuffed and brought down for sure. No second effort even allowed from the Guardians as they knocked it backwards, and he made it maybe 5 or 6 inches forward as they mark him closer to the 45 when the ball was on the 44 the previous play. So it'll be 3rd down and 5, and that's going to be the end, or we're getting close to the end of the first quarter here. See if they can get one more play off, that being the Knights. Dudley looking to the sideline. Coach Julius Foster. They're going to try to get one. I don't think they're going to make it.
No, they're not.
That's the end of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter, we have a ball game on our hands.
I would definitely say so.
12-7. The Knights over the Guardians right now. And it could be 14-7. Remember, Dremel Jackson, after his own 94-yard kickoff return, missed the PAT, which you could excuse him for because maybe his legs were tired. And then after the 57-yard touchdown pass from Dudley to Parks, They tried the PAT, faked the PAT and went for the 2-point conversion and came up short. So 12-7 is their score. Ellis Edwards, that is the touchdown run from 4 yards out for the Guardians in the first quarter. And then from that point forward, it's been all Knights. The 94-yard kickoff return and then the 57-yard touchdown pass. The Guardians were moving the ball and took it all the way down to the Knights' 9-yard line where they fumbled. And it just hasn't been going their way since that point. Now we've got Devon Dudley in the shotgun again. One running back in the backfield. He's going to throw. Nope. It's a keeper, and he goes forward and gains maybe a yard. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage as he keeps it at the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 5. 4th down and 5, excuse me.
Yeah, that pocket collapsed quickly. He's had to just get what he can get on that one.
Caleb Berry with the quarterback sack on that one as they lost maybe a yard. And it looks like the Knights are going to kick. Punter is on the field. And that's Dremel Jackson again. Back to receive will be Ellis Edwards for the Guardians. Here's the kick from Jackson. It's a good one. Backing Edwards up to the 5-yard line where the ball bounces at the 15. Edwards fields it at the 10, and he's brought down quickly there by number 4, Isaiah Burks. He got out across the 10 as he fielded it right at about the 10 and is brought down around the 23-yard line, and that's where Dylan Zahn and company will take over.
Tackle on the play by number 23, Xavier Henderson. Guardians take over 1st and 10.
Zahn out of the shotgun, an empty backfield here.
So you know what's coming.
To his right, 2 to the top. He sends Edwards in motion, keeps it himself, comes across the 25. There's a flag on the play as he is tackled down at about the 27-yard line.
Well, that's definitely interesting, and I definitely would thought they would have aired it out on this on that play.
Yeah, 1st down.
Empty backfield,
trying to maybe get a little momentum built, and they decide to go with the quarterback keeper.
Tackle on the play by number 55, Roosevelt Sims.
And we're still waiting to see what the penalty is. It's going to be
holding, maybe?
Holding on SMA.
Yep.
10-yard penalty. Now that's a drive killer, George.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Make sure to write that one.
Yeah.
Drive killer.
Drive killer for sure. So Zahn now facing a 1st down and 18 as the penalty occurred 2 yards in the advancement of the ball. So it'll be 1st and 18, penalty from the spot of the foul. Zahn out of the shotgun, pitches over to Edwards, and Zahn took a shot. But
I would definitely say so.
Gets the ball up across the 30 to the 33.
9-yard line, gain of 15 on the play.
15-yard gain. That's going to make it 2nd down and 3 to go. But Edwards having a big game here for the Guardians. Another pitch out to Edwards, and he's going to get it and more as he crosses the 35. Up to the 36-yard line.
Number 22, Ellis Edwards. Takes it out to the 36-yard line. And 8 on the play, good enough for another Guardian 1st down. Tackle on the play, number 5, Martez Hall. And number 6,
Martez Hall with the stop there. 10:20 remaining here in the 1st quarter.
Second quarter,
rather. Sorry, George. Zahn looking to throw the ball, and again he's got a receiver over on the left side, but nothing doing as he was well covered there.
He said a prayer for that one.
Yeah.
Number 11, Ethan Smith. Ball's incomplete.
Looked like Anthony Fuqua. I'm trying to find out if that is, yes, Anthony Fuqua.
Number 11, Anthony Fuqua.
Was in the area along with
2nd
Ethan
down and 10 for the Guardians.
Smith and stops the play. Now Zahn's going to keep it on the pitch, and I see another flag on the play as Zahn really goes nowhere after maybe a 2-yard gain and gets slammed hard to the ground.
Quarterback keeper, number 3, Dylan Zahn. Gain of 3 yards, but there is a penalty on the play.
Was it holding again?
I think it was.
Looks like they're going to mark it going forward. Let's see what the penalty is. And it is on the Knights.
Illegal substitution.
I saw a 5-yard penalty, so that brings it forward with 10:09 remaining in the half. 12-7 Knights. The ball rests now on the 44-yard line. Zahn with the handoff, this time to Caleb Briggs. And Briggs is met pretty quickly as he gets out across the 45 to maybe the 46, 47-yard line.
Yeah, there's really nowhere to go on that play.
Getting a 5 on the play, good enough for a Guardian first down.
First down is enough there with Briggs.
At their own 47-yard line.
Zahn in the shotgun. Getting the play called in from Coach Pitts as he looks to the sideline. Edwards behind him, 3 receivers to the top of your screen. The handoff goes to Edwards, who goes right up the middle and crosses midfield to about the 48-yard line.
Handoff, number 22, Ellis Edwards, gain a 4 on the play. It's an inside southeast territory at the 49-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
9:23 remaining here in the first half. Zahn out of the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself this time and gets tossed to the ground there by number 3, Ray Parks.
Quarterback keeper, number 3, Dylan Zahn, gain of a yard on the play. Tackled by number 3, Rayford Parks.
3rd and 5 with the clock still moving at 9 minutes. Zahn in the shotgun again, same formation it's been for the last 3 or 4 plays. Zahn keeps it this time instead of pitching out to Edwards and is brought down to the 45-yard line.
That was great awareness by SMA. You see the Southeastern trying to have a substitution there?
Yeah.
That's some Bill Belichick coaching.
Clock stopped at 8:49.
Illegal substitution against Southeast.
Another illegal substitution from Southeast.
Easy 5 yards
5
there.
yards again.
Good enough for
Another first down and puts the ball at the 40-yard line of the Knights. So it's not necessarily, other than a couple of plays, it hasn't been much on the offensive side yet from SMA, but the Knights are shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. Zahn is going to pass now. Hits Edwards, who is across the 45. A big hit there on the side and gets down to about the 32-yard line.
And just for the record, I am not a Patriots fan.
No, you're a Titans fan.
There you go.
Nobody's perfect, George. Dangerous saying that here in Chiefs country.
I'm not a Chiefs fan either.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
All right, well, it was fun, Jeremy.
That is ridiculous. I did like that Chiefs-Titans game, though, in the playoffs last year. How about you?
Oh, ha,
Zahn
ha.
rolling out here, and he's going to be hitting the backfield and then brought
hit
down
hard
by a couple of guys.
You know, Jeremy, I went to that
Terry
game.
Baker. Well, I'm glad you were there to witness it in person, George.
I was not happy when I left that game.
Terry Baker. No gain on the play. 3rd and 2 for the Guardians.
3rd and 2 for the Guardians now. Zahn is going to be under center with 2 backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off there
and
to number 17, Jacob Edmondson, and he is stopped immediately. He's not going to gain the first down. They're still going to be a couple of yards short here. So too far for a field goal. They're obviously going to go for it.
I would say I appreciate Southeast defensive line. They've been getting a lot of penetration and push and been flying around the ball.
4th and 2 Guardians.
Zahn now in the shotgun. Behind him is Caleb Briggs. And we've got another offsides from the Knights. That's going to give the Guardians the first down. That's I think that's the 3rd first down on a penalty on this drive from Southeast.
I think so.
Guardian first down.
And we've got a timeout on the field by Southeast. I think Coach Julius Foster may want to talk to his team about not moving until the ball is snapped. A couple of illegal substitutions, a couple of offsides penalties, and that has kept SMA moving here in this second quarter. 12-7 is our score. 7 minutes and 1 second remaining in the half. A reminder at halftime, SMA's homecoming activities will be taking place.
Next week we have boys soccer. Senior night will be Monday, 10-12 versus Oak Grove. Starts at 7 here at Lee Summit North.
You're going to have your dance performance on the team out there. You're going to have some
immediately after that.
alumni recognition, and then of course the crowning of the homecoming king and queen. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll have that here for you. At least broadcast it live for those of you who can't be here. Good luck to all of the candidates. Zahn now with a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line, 12-7, Knights leading here in the second half. Zahn under center, Briggs in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff to Briggs. He's under pressure, but he's got Amir Carter wide open at the 20-yard line, and he advances it down to the 15. That's going to be enough for a first down. Big number 50, Terry Baker, bringing the pressure for the Knights, but it wasn't enough if Zahn got rid of it quick enough. And it's a first down. The drive stays alive here. 6:51 remaining in the half as the Guardians are trying to get back to even here with the Knights. Zahn in the shotgun. Edwards back in the backfield. Zahn fakes the pitch. Now he pitches to Edwards, who's across the 20, or the 15 rather, and brought down at the 12-yard line, a pickup of about 3 for Edwards.
That was a nice little fake there, Jeremy.
Zahn with the fake pitch. Looked like he was going to take it, and then the defender bit on it,
yeah,
and
bit
then he
the bait.
did go ahead and take the pitch to Edwards, and Edwards advances it 3 yards, 2nd and 7 with 12 on the 12-yard line with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the first half. Amir Carter now in the backfield with Ellis Edwards. That's new. And the handoff goes to Edwards, and Amir Carter's trying to clear the way. Edwards gets a couple of yards down to the 10, and it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Tackle by number 60, Shannon Williams.
6 minutes remaining in the first half. 12-7 Knights. Zahn again in the shotgun. Edwards to his left. Fake pitch to Edwards, and he just hands it off to him, and Edwards pushes it forward all the way to the 5-yard line, and that's going to be enough for another first down for the Guardians, as now it's 1st and goal to go.
Another Guardian first down. Tackling the play by number 22, Tyler McQuarters. Guardians 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Zahn in the shotgun again, Edwards right behind him. He's going to keep it this time himself and gets it down to about the 2-yard line. And the refs are going to mark him down there at the 2. It looked like he might have been able to have with a second effort down to the 1, but they officially put him down at the 2. 2nd and goal to go from the 2. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. No real rush here for the Guardians. Sends a man in motion. That's Ethan Smith. Handoff to Ellis Edwards, who met some resistance and then finds pay dirt. Touchdown, Ellis Edwards. And the Guardians retake the lead at 13-12.
You know what, Jeremy? This is really exciting. We have a game on our hands.
And to kick the extra point for the Guardians, number 6, Max Ellis. Holder, number 5, Cam Zahn.
Max Ellis in to kick for the PAT. We got a flag on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Snap that ball foul
Offsides.
Against Southeast.
So that makes the ball scoot up just an inch or two. Basically half the distance to the goal yard or goal line. So not much difference for Mr. Ellis.
Ooh,
And
it
this
is
time
blocked.
it's blocked. Great penetration from the Knights, and they get through and knock it down, and it's going to stay 13-12.
You know, Jeremy, how far saw this coming? Because they had some really great penetration on the other PATs.
13-12 our score with 4:57 remaining here in the first half. scoreboard says 14 to 12, but it's 13 to 12. We're working on it. I think this app isn't going to work, George.
You got to cut her off?
It's just not working for us tonight. I'm going to fix that in just a moment.
Little pooch kick.
They tried the onside kick, which we saw them recover 4 out of 6 from on Central High School. Doesn't work this time as the Knights field it cleanly.
Kickoff received by number 5, Montez Hall. Southeast takes over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Score 13-12. They take over at their own 47, so the onside attempt or pooch kind of backfires on the Guardians and gives the Knights great field position.
That will take place immediately after our dance team performs.
Big Devon Dudley back in the field for the Knights. He's in the shotgun, sends a man in motion. That's Ray Parks, who he hands it off to. Stopped initially by Caleb Berry, and then finally brought down by everybody on the Guardians defense. Samil Hayes Dunnell there, along with Caleb Briggs, amongst others. Berry was the first in the backfield to get a hand on Rayford Parks. And it ends up being a loss. It's going to make it 2nd down and 16 from the 43-yard line for the Knights. 4:20 remaining here in the first half, and we've got, it looks like, a timeout from the Knights.
Well, Jeremy, you almost know what's coming. They've run that same play on every first down they've had the ball.
Yeah, I really would like to see more passing if I'm a Knights fan. I think from Dudley, he obviously has the arm for it.
I definitely think so.
And just a reminder here at halftime, as we've got 4:20 left, 4:21 left in the first half, we have homecoming festivities. The dance team will be out, then they're going to have some alumni recognition, and then the crowning of your homecoming king and queen, of course. That's so important. Big moment in the life of a high schooler. George, did you ever win homecoming king or queen or anything like that?
No, I was too cool for that.
Yeah, me too. I think one year I did win like court warming king or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
That was really popular, George. Dudley with the snap, and he's hit from behind by John Morris, and it's going to roll out of bounds, and they're not saying he was passing. To me, it looked like that could have been an incomplete pass as his arm was moving forward.
I think it was.
Dudley is down on the ground as Morris
hurt.
Pounded him. Beautiful shot from John Morris coming around the corner on the blitz. Rayford Parks was the intended receiver, and the ball goes out of bounds. Let's see if they call that an incomplete pass. It doesn't look like they're going to, as the scoreboard says now 2nd down and 27.
You know what that hit was, Jeremy?
A back.
Well, that. And welcome to football.
Yes, sir.
We get a game on our hands.
Dudley taking a gigantic hit there from John Morris. And he looks like he's going to sit in the game.
No, they took him out.
Did they? I'm trying to find him out on the field.
No, he's out.
Yeah.
I think you have to sit out of play if you get hurt.
Yeah. Trying to see who the new quarterback is, at least for this play. I believe that will be Martez Hall. He's in the shotgun. The snap is fumbled by Hall, and now there's all kinds of Guardians around him, and he does well to actually advance the ball a yard or two, as Morris was there as well as Caleb Berry one more time in that backfield. The Guardians were bringing the kitchen sink that time.
You should patent that one.
Yeah.
Bringing the kitchen sink.
And they're going to say it was a loss of a couple more yards, so it's 4th and 29. It looked like Hall had gotten forward a couple of yards. Maybe it just looked so bad that I wanted to give him more credit than he got. Dremel Jackson back for punting. Edwards at the 35 of his own to receive the punt. Jackson gets it, no pressure from the Guardians. He kicks it up. It's not a good kick. Barely crosses the 40, gets a friendly bounce, or the 50, gets the friendly bounce, and it goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Guardians will take over with 3:27 in the first half.
We'd like to congratulate.
They're going to need a big defensive stop here to get momentum back on their side.
Our state bound. They are the first of our lady tennis golf team to go represent St. Michael's at state, and they will be playing next week in Springfield. Good luck, ladies.
Zahn out of the shotgun, throwing over the middle. He's got Edwards, and the throw is just a little low. Martez Hall on the, or rather Dremel Jackson on the coverage.
Pass intended for number 22. Ellis Edwards falls incomplete. There's a flag.
We got a flag on the play. It's a personal foul, and it's on the Knights.
Against Southeast.
And I didn't see what the personal foul was. George, did you pick it up? Was it roughing the passer potentially?
I think it was roughing the passer. I didn't see it though.
But the Knights one more time giving positive yardage to the Guardians, and that time it was on a play that wasn't going to go anywhere. Well, now they pick up 15 yards with the clock stopped at 3:23.
That's a 15-yard penalty. Good enough for a Guardian first down, 1st and 10. At the Southeast 44-yard line.
Zahn to pass over the middle. He's got a receiver. That's big Nicholas Haggerty, and he rambles forward and gets up to the 25-yard line of the Knights. Nicholas, the brother of Michael Haggerty, got number 87 and 16 out on the field. The brothers playing together, and together they make big targets for Dylan Zahn out on that field. Both of them 6'3", 6'4". In their height. Zahn now out of the shotgun, pitches it out to Edwards, who's across the 25, now the 20, the 15, still on his feet, nailed runner.
Woo! Oh!
And he put Martez Hall on his rear end.
He lowered that shoulder.
Lowered the shoulder and gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Edwards putting a smackdown on Martez Hall there.
Hello.
Edwards goes flying backwards. Zahn again out of the shotgun, sends a man in motion. That's Ethan Smith as he comes down near to the bottom of your screen. Zahn's got a man in the end zone.
Wide
Nicholas
open.
Haggerty,
Oh,
touchdown! SMA! And what a catch from Nicholas Haggerty, who had to come back, reach behind, make the dive, and catch the ball. It's a touchdown, making it 19-12 with 2:40 gone or left here in the first half. And the Guardians seem to have woken up.
Holding number 5, hands on.
The point after this time is good. That makes it 20-12.
It is good. 2:40 left in the first half. Guardians 20, Southeast 12.
20-12 now. 2:40 left in the first half. And the Guardians come alive. They were down 12-7 after big, huge plays from the Knights. A 94-yard kickoff return from Dremel Jackson. A 57-yard touchdown pass from Dudley to Parks. Found them down 12-7 rather. The first time they've trailed since I can remember, since we've been back calling the games, George. They never trailed against Central, never trailed against Diamond, and certainly never trailed in the first half. Going to the halftime in both of those games up 28-0 and 42-0 respectively. So they trailed in this one 12-7, but they have come back with a vengeance with 13 unanswered points. And now Max Ellis will be kicking off And the man who returned a kick for 94 yards stands at the about the 7 or 8 yard line in Dremel Jackson. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Pitts does here. Do you kick it off to the dangerous runner in Jackson? And they're not going to. They're just a little pooch kick here. Rayford Parks will field it at the 25, turn and try to run. He gets across the 30 and is pushed out of bounds at about the 27 yard line. So they're keeping it away from Mr. Jackson with the 94 yard touchdown.
Knocked out by number 20, Carson Jones.
And Dudley is back on the field. Good sign for both all the Knights fans and just football in general, as the young man is not hurt.
1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 30.
And you got to wonder now, being down 8 with 2:35 remaining here in the first half, George.
Do you air it out?
Does Julius Foster decide to?
With the formation down there, I think you do.
Do you let him run it a little bit?
I'm excited up here.
Let's see what he can do. Caleb Briggs in the safety position back there just in case. He's going to pass. Throws it and through the hands. That should have been a caught ball there. Through the hands of number 7, Javion Lee. Maybe heard the feet there of the Guardian defender coming up around him as his back was turned to the defender, and that could have been a nasty hit. But still should have caught it.
That was definitely a catchable ball. They definitely got to make that catch. Go ahead and advance the chains.
2:31 remaining in the first half. Dudley still in the shotgun, and he has got 5 receivers, 3 to the near side, 2 to the top of your screen. As he looks over the defense, 3 down linemen for the Guardians. He sends a man in motion. That's Parks. Dudley now going to throw, pump fakes, and just throws it out of bounds as Parks was in the area, but nothing really doing there for the Knights. As it looks like Coach Foster has decided to see if he can get anything through the air. And to be honest with you, the Southeast Knights team, from the stats we have, their receiving yardage is twice as much as their rushing yardage on average in a game. 130 through the air, 76 on the ground. So they are a passing team, at least according to the stats we've been able to see. So more Dudley again in the backfield, 1 man to his right. Takes the snap, drops back, quick zip across the field, off target to Dremel Jackson. That's going to make it
4th down.
4th down and 10, so they definitely need to kick here, especially the way the Guardians have been moving the ball. And the Guardians are going to get this ball back with plenty of time in the first half, as each incomplete pass stops that clock. 3 in a row, so only 7 seconds go off the clock basically for the Knights in that offensive series. Dremel Jackson to kick. Edwards back at his own 25 yard line. Let's see what kind of a foot Jackson's got here on the punt this time. No rush from the Guardians. Big kick this time. Edwards is going to field it at the 29. He comes across the 30, now the 35. He's got a little room. He breaks it out to the 40, 45, 50. He's on the sideline. Big block. Cuts it back in the middle, and Edwards is gone.
He's gone.
15,
He's out of here.
10, 5, touchdown. Ellis Edwards. Huge block on the sidelines. I didn't see who that was. May have been John Morris as the SMA Guardians are high-fiving him, and he is fired up on the sidelines. That block broke it free as Edwards cut it back to the middle of the field. And that's a big, big touchdown return of 70 yards for Ellis Edwards.
Number 5.
26-12. Max Ellis on to kick the extra point. 2:04, so just 20 seconds expire for the Guardians. The Knights are going to get it back. The PAT is good.
Well, Jeremy, let me ask you a question. If you're Southeast here, what are you thinking?
Oh boy, you can't have a 3 and out like that again.
No, you can't. You can't.
You can't give the ball back to the Guardians with a couple of minutes remaining in the first half. So I don't know, maybe some play action, maybe some shorter passes. Don't try to gain 10, 15 yards in each pass. Maybe get some 5-yard passes in there and see if you can pick it up short or get something on the yards after the catch. But I wouldn't be going for the deep stuff right now. I'd just maybe be going for keep all the passes under 10 yards, see if you can catch a man over the middle who could maybe break one free.
It's kind of playing it safe here.
27-12 our score.
Back deep for the Knights, number 6, Dremel Jackson.
Edwards with the 70-yard punt return. Edwards has been all over the field tonight with big runs.
And no one wanted to go get the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but the Knights just kind of
looked at it.
Southeast recovers it. They're going to take over at the 22-23-yard line. 1:59 remaining. Short kick from Max Ellis. Rayford Parks was there, Dremel Jackson was there, but they just weren't sure what to do.
Kickoff is recovered by number 11.
The ball is at the 24 officially now.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Devon Dudley back in at quarterback again. 3 running backs. He's going to hand it off this time. And it looks like Rayford Parks is going to bring it up to about the 28-yard line.
And off number 5, Martez Hall.
Correction, that was Martez Hall on the run. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Ball now on the 28-yard line. The clock is moving with 1:35 remaining in the first half.
2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6. Dudley hands off to Martez Hall again, and he breaks free out across the 40, stopped at the 41. So it looks like Coach Foster is saying, okay, we're not going to go quickly. No more 3 and outs.
Yeah.
But the clock is at 1:19. They stop it to move the chains. 27-12 our score. Devon Dudley again in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Hands off again to Martez Hall, who moves forward maybe a couple of yards to the 43.
And off to number 5,
I think they're looking for one to break here.
Yeah, either that or just running it down. Now the Guardians get the ball to start the second half as they deferred the kick to the Knights. Dudley calling out the play. He's passing. Quick pass over the middle to Rayford Parks, and that's the kind of arm we saw in the warm-ups, and that's the kind of pass I would expect to see.
So quick,
really
you miss it.
Right there is those little 5- and 10-yard passes along with the runs. I think they can make some money in that kind of an offensive set. It makes it 3rd and 1 at the 50, and the clock continues to run. Southeast has timeouts. I'm not sure why they're not calling them. Dudley's going to pass again. This time he's going deep, and he way overthrows everybody. Incomplete down to the 15-yard line. But he threw that from the 40, so again, a 45-yard throw, 40, let's see, yeah, down to the 15, so 30, 10, 45-yard toss, just flipped it out there. That's what we were seeing in warm-ups that kind of impressed us and thought that we might have something interesting on our hands. He is still a freshman, got a lot of rough edges, but he does have a fantastic arm. Ball at the 50, 11.7 seconds remaining. And they corrected as Martez Hall takes it up to the 45, and I think they corrected it to show that Southeast now has no timeouts.
Martez Hall, gain of 6 yards on the play. That's good enough for a Knights first down.
First down on the play, 5.8 seconds remaining. Clock stops on the first down. Now we've got the clock back in motion, so Southeast had used all their timeouts, and they're just going to let the clock run out. And the first half will come to an end right there as the snap is almost fumbled by Devon Dudley. Just handed it off to Martez Hall. He didn't see anything, took a knee. So 27-12 as the Guardians started off a little rough, but got up there in the points. Yeah, 28 and there a couple weeks ago in the first half, 42 last week, 27 this week. So very, very interesting first half from the SMA Guardians. It started off a little shaky, but they have regained control and lead this thing by 15 as we go to halftime. George and I are going to step aside. We'll leave the camera rolling as we've got a dance team performance from the SMA Guardians. We've got halftime festivities for homecoming with alumni recognition and the homecoming king and queen. And we will step aside and let you watch it all right here live on YouTube with Cinematic Vision's Jeremy Wood, George Howard, and St. Michael the Archangel Catholic High School versus Southeast. We'll be back right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2020 Lady Guardian Dance Team.
I need a jack for all of this bad, but it won't go far. Check it out to the tempo. Some things getting worse. Check it out to the tempo. Cut it up, boy. I'm watching you. Now you want enough of that.
Here for the Guardian Dance Team. Being that tonight is homecoming night, it's been homecoming week at St. Michael. We would like to welcome back our St. Michael alumni. St. Michael the Archangel alumni, please stand if you are here tonight with us. We'd also like to welcome our legacy alumni from Archbishop O'Hara, St. Mary's, and De La Salle. Rise and be recognized. We would also like to recognize the teachers, staff, and coaches that have served in those schools as well. Please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, give all of them a big round of applause to all of our alumni and our faculty who have contributed to the great legacy that continues today. In celebration of our legacy during this homecoming year, we would like to give special recognition to the 1980 O'Hara football team under the direction of head coach Paul Montiel. We were unable to invite the entire team tonight due to the COVID restrictions, but here representing them on the field is John Tyler, the defensive back and kicker for the team. He is a member of the St. Michael the Archangel Board of Trustees and currently a St. Michael the Archangel parent. He received postseason honors for both positions. John later went on to play at the University of Notre Dame. And last, but certainly not least, representing the coaching staff, we have Coach Jim DeMaria. Coach DeMaria. He is an O'Hara legend. He's a member of the Missouri Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame and a current St. Michael the Archangel parent. We would like to congratulate the 1980 Archbishop O'Hara football team on the 40th anniversary of their Class 3 state championship. Ladies and gentlemen, 1980 O'Hara football. We'd like to thank all our SMA and Legacy alumni for building the solid foundation we have today and continuing to support the Catholic education. Now, for our homecoming court. This week, the students, teachers, and staff participated in St. Michael the Archangel Catholic High School's 4th homecoming week. The student leaders chose the theme, Superheroes. and organized a great event for the week with dress down days. Through the community system, St. Michael the Archangel wants to create a home away from home for each guardian. So this week really was a fantastic week of faith, fun, and fellowship in true guardian spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to present the 2020 St. Michael the Archangel Homecoming Court. First up, representing the sophomore class, Mark Mcnamara. Mark is the son of Patrick and Amy Mcnamara. He is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Catholic Church. He attended grade school there before joining St. Michael the Archangel last year. Since becoming a guardian, he is involved in soccer, basketball, and golf. He is inspired by his dad because he has a great work ethic and tries hard in everything he does. He is a Colby community, and he is in Sister Catherine Rose's house. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark McNamara. Also representing the sophomore class is Zoe O'Connor. Zoe is the daughter of John and Kelly O'Connor. Zoe is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish, and since becoming a guardian, she is involved in golf and basketball. She is a student ambassador and a guardian of the altar. She is inspired by her sister because she always stands up for others and does the right thing. She is a true example of leadership. She appreciates encounter and being able to participate in great faith. She is in John Paul II community and is a member of the Ambrose House. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Zoe O'Connor. Next, representing the junior class, Mr. Joseph McNamara. Joseph is the son of Patrick and Amy McNamara. He is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish, and since becoming a guardian, he's been involved in soccer, golf. He's a student ambassador. He's in the Guardians of the Altar, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society. He's a member of the Colby Community and Corbin House, and appreciates the class retreats where he got the opportunity to grow close to his classmates, his friends, but most of all, closer to God. He's inspired by his parents because of their hard work, dedication, and love for me and my family. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joseph McNamara. Next up, representing the junior class, Miss Natalie High. Natalie is the daughter of Brett and Julie High. She is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish. Since becoming a guardian, she has been involved in cheer, volleyball, choir, stage crew for the musicals, National Honor Society, Guardians of the Altar. She is a lead peer mentor and a student ambassador. She's inspired by her parents to work hard and do her best in everything. She wants to make them proud. She is a member of the Colby community as in the Liquor House. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Natalie Hyde. And now for our senior court, for homecoming king and queen. Our first candidate for king is Caleb Berry. Caleb is the son of Chris and Kim Berry. He is a member of Nativity of Mary Parish. Since becoming a guardian, Caleb has been involved in football, baseball, and wrestling. He is inspired by his parents because they are always there and they are always working hard for me and my brother to have everything we need. After graduation, Caleb wants to play sports in college and study to become a physical therapist. He is a member of John Paul II community where he serves as a community captain. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Caleb Berry. Our first candidate for queen, Miss Callie Bokenkroger. Callie is the daughter of Matt and Courtney Bokenkroger. She is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish. Since becoming a guardian, she has been involved in varsity volleyball, bleacher bums, the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and student ambassador. She is inspired by her mother. She always supports me and pushes me to be better. She is a member of the John Paul II community and serves as a house captain in the Ambrose House. She plans on attending medical school and studying radiology. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Callie Bokenkroger. Our second candidate for king is Jacob Edmondson. Jacob is the son of Jeff and Christine Edmondson. He went to St. John Lalonde School, and since becoming a guardian, he has been involved in football, wrestling, a student ambassador, National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and he is inspired by his parents because they are both hard workers. They never give up. They stay positive and guide me to treat all people with respect. He can imagine himself in 10 years having graduated from college, holding an amazing job, maybe TikTok famous, and have surgery for his broken nose. He is a member of the Colby community, was house captain last year for the Tranquino House, and is the school's school captain. After graduation, Jacob plans to attend the University of Nebraska. Go Big Red. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jacob Edmondson. Our second candidate for Queen is Miss Bella Hughes. Bella is the daughter of Jeff and Michelle Hughes. She is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish. Since becoming a guardian, she has been involved in cheer, basketball, soccer, National Honor Society, peer mentoring, and the Guardians of the Altar. Her parents are her biggest inspiration. They have taught me what it means to work hard and achieve your dreams, and to always keep God at the center of our lives. I hope I can become half as amazing as they are someday. After graduation, she plans to pursue studies in the medical field. Bella is a member of the Padre Pio community and serves as a community captain. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Bella Hughes. Our third candidate for King, Mr. John Sampson. John is the son of Karen and Paulette Sampson. He is a member of St. Sabina Parish. Since becoming a guardian, he has been involved in robotics and civilians, which is the tech team. He is inspired by his classmates because they have continued to show what we can make our senior year the best, and it can be despite all the setbacks we have had. After graduation, he plans to go to a Missouri Community College for the first 2 years. John is a member of Padre Pio community in the Hein McCoy House. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Sampson. Our third candidate for Queen is Miss Emily Roddy. Emily is the daughter of Matt and Jill Roddy. She is a member of St. John Lalonde Parish, and since becoming a guardian, she has been involved in tennis, which she qualified today to represent St. Michael at state. She's involved in soccer, the swim team, student ambassador, choir, the National Honor Society, Guardians of the Altar, and is a lead of the Encounters. She is inspired by her grandfather, who has taught me strength, courage, and kindness. He has shown me how not to take anything too seriously, but to respect and care for the need of others. After graduation, she wants to study psychology in college. Emily is a member of the Colby community and is a house captain in the Favreau House. This year is one of the school captains. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Emily Roddy. Our fourth and final candidate for King, Mr. Brett Zagar. Brett is the son of Joe and Mindy Zagar and attends St. Robert Bellarmine Parish. Since becoming a guardian, he has been involved in robotics. He's a lead peer mentor, Guardians of the Altar, and is a leader with Encounter. He is a member of John Paul II community and serves as a house captain in the Hollow House. He is inspired by his older brother Taylor, who has shown me what it means to step out of our comfort zone and to persevere through challenges with a smile. In 10 years, he hopes he is doing whatever God has called him to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Zagar. Our fourth and final candidate for Queen is Marley Van Bever. Marley is a daughter of Mark and Marcy Van Bever. She is a member of Our Lady of Presentation Parish. Since becoming a guardian, she has been involved in cheer, student ambassador, a lector, a lead peer mentor, and National Honor Society. She is a member of John Paul II community and serves as a house captain in the Ambrose House. Her parents are her inspiration because they are the most hardworking, generous, and faithful people I know. She can imagine herself teaching in 10 years, and plans on attending the University of Missouri next year. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Marley Van Bever. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the homecoming king and queen will be crowned by our president, Father Randy Sly, and our principal, Mrs. Jody Briggs, O'Hara class of 1986. They will be assisted this evening by the 2019 St. Michael the Archangel homecoming king and queen, Mr. Daniel Roddy and Miss Grace Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 homecoming king is Mr. Caleb Berry. And the 2020 homecoming queen for St. Michael the Archangel is Miss Emily Roddy. Again, let's give a round of applause for our 2020 homecoming king and queen, Mr. Caleb Berry and Miss Emily Roddy. We would like to congratulate all members of the homecoming court. Thank you for representing St. Michael the Archangel Catholic High School.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the halftime festivities here on homecoming night with St. Michael the Archangel. Guardians leading right now at halftime 27-12. And if you were with us at the beginning of the game, I told you we were trying to run a new app that could help us keep the score with the game clock and everything.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, and all the testing worked great. But when the live ammunition started going off, not so much. Thanks to my dad, Jerry Wood, for coming out and doing his best to work with it. I was even trying to do it a little bit. It just didn't work. Oh well, we'll go back to our old system here. And as you can see, it is 27-12 at halftime. Let's go through the scoring summary for you as we're getting ready to start the second half. Things started off very quickly and good for SMA, both on defense and offense, as they deferred for the kickoff to get it here at the second half. So Southeast started. Dremel Jackson returns it. They get it up to about the 10-yard line, and that's where their offensive series took place. And a fumble from Martez Hall on the 9-yard line gave the SMA Guardians their first offensive possession of the game. And they quickly march it in as Cam Zahn picks up 5 yards. And then Ellis Edwards runs in for 4, the touchdown, and the PAT is good afterward. It's 7-0. We were kind of curious to see maybe what Southeast could do, because they look like they have some strong athletes, at least in warming up. And they proved it on the ensuing kickoff with a 94-yard touchdown return from Dremel Jackson, made the score 6-7. And then Dremel is the kicker for the team as well. He missed the PAT, making it 7-6. In the next score came from Devon Dudley, the big freshman quarterback for Southeast, hitting Rayford Parks for 57 yards, about a 35-yard toss, and then a 22-yard scamper, or vice versa, 22-yard pass, 35-yard run from Rayford Parks. He turned on the afterburners and jetted into the end zone for the 57-yard touchdown, made it 12-7 Southeast. And then on the PAT, they faked it, tried to go for the 2-point conversion and didn't quite make it. Then we had a little lull in the offense for a little while for both teams, but in the second quarter, SMA strikes again and is able to get a touchdown to make it 13 to 12 as the PAT was blocked by Southeast. So 13-12 our score there, and then in the second quarter things really started heating up for the Guardians as a 5-yard touchdown pass to Nicholas Haggerty, who had a great catch earlier in the drive, made it 19-12. The PAT after makes it 20-12, and then they stop Southeast on their ensuing drive with just 2:31. Southeast gets the ball, and 7 seconds later it's 3 and out after 3 incomplete passes. And the punt return from Ellis Edwards goes 70 yards and makes it 27-12 after the point after. And that's where we sit right now, 27-12, the Guardians with the lead, and they have the ball to start the second half as the kickoff again was deferred. They won the coin toss and deferred the kickoff, and now we'll be receiving as we've got a couple of minutes still to go before kickoff. George, if you're Coach Pitts with the Guardians and Coach Foster with the Knights, what are you doing different in this second half? What do you do, for instance, with the Guardians?
Nothing. I mean, everything just seemed to click there in the second quarter, and I think they just need to stick with their game plan, just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, they looked really good. You know, when they got the momentum on their side, they kept it and they ran with it. Now, on the other hand, on Southeast side, I'll definitely, dig in the bag of tricks a little bit. You got to get points on the board or this game could get out of hand. You're down a few scores. You definitely don't want to have that lull of the previous half still lingering above. You got to just look, the scoreboard's back to 0-0. Let's see what we can do here.
Well, and we talked about it, especially on their very, very fast 3 and out.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to gain yardage in chunks, maybe 15, 20 yards at a time. And they could do that, obviously, with the 57-yard touchdown pass from Dudley to Parks. But those are home runs. They don't happen all the time.
Right.
Everything's kind of got to go right for you to get those. So maybe quit trying to hit the home runs and doubles and get a few singles in there, to use the baseball analogy. Instead of trying to pass it for 20 yards, maybe do some 5-yard and 10-yard passes and see if you can get some yards after the catch, and then mix in the run, because Martez Hall, in spite of the fumble, did have a handful of nice runs, as did Rayford Parks. So it's not like the Knights are out of the game. They prove they can score very fast with the 57-yard strike and the 94-yard kickoff return. It's not like they can't score. I just feel like their offensive attack was a little bit inconsistent, especially
it was a bit aggressive.
Passing. Yeah,
it was definitely a bit aggressive. Maybe just slow it down a bit. Like I said, have a couple trick plays here and there, just catch defense off guard. But I mean, they just got to just remind themselves, scoreboard's back to 0-0. This is a new half. Anything could happen, but they definitely got to get back in this game.
Well, let's see if they can do it on defense, as that's where they'll start this second half as Dremel Jackson prepares to kick off. And they have some weird kicking styles. It's more of the, it's not the, they're straight on instead of kicking with the inside of their foot. Both on the kickoffs and the PATs, Dremel is a straight toe kicker. He just kicks it with the front of his foot rather than kind of on the inside like you see a traditional football kicker. And he doesn't kind of, veer off to the side as he's coming in. He runs straight at it. So
that's that old school kicking right there.
Yeah. It's like I can't remember the man who set the record for the longest NFL kick, but he only had half a foot, and his foot was squared off, and was able to set the record kicking it that way. So Jackson prepares to kick off. He does, and it's an onside kick, and quickly recovered right there by the Guardians, who looked like they were almost expecting it.
That was the bag of tricks.
Eric Bell with the recovery, the junior, trying something to get something maybe sparked. But the backfire here is that now the Guardians get to start at the 48-yard line of their own, so, a 52-yard drive instead of maybe a 70-yard drive.
Right.
But maybe Coach Foster's thinking, look, I think we can stop them, or he's saying it doesn't matter if it's 52 or 70, they're gonna make it in. So we need to take a risk here. Zahn out of the shotgun, rolls to his left, looking down the field, and he's got Michael Haggerty, and this time it's picked off. Picked off by number 2, Cameron Stacker. And the pass comes up just a little bit short as Michael Haggerty had to turn and slow his stride.
I mean, but even still, Jeremy, he threw it into double coverage.
He threw it into double coverage, but man, if he gets it over the top, Haggerty is wide open because he was behind the defenders. He just underthrew it, so the break that the Knights needed after the failed onside kick comes through quickly. And they will take over now on the 28-yard line. So one short play and the turnover from Dylan Zahn as the interception is taken by Cameron Stacker, number 2 for the Knights. Now big Devon Dudley under his quarterback, and he's going to keep it, and he just lowers his shoulder and runs right into Caleb Berry, and that's 2 very large human beings fighting for a yard of territory, and really neither one of them
just kind of stalemated.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 as he gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
Also another tackle, number 4, Amir Carter.
Amir Carter helped out Caleb Berry on that one. Dudley in the shotgun again, 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom, and a running back to his right. He's going to pass, and that one is thrown at the feet of Rayford Parks.
For number 3, Rayford Parks.
Just for a second, it looked like one of the Guardians might be able to get their hands on it, and had they done that, that would have been an easy touchdown. But
easy little pick 6 there.
Dangerous pass there as Parks was open, but there were 2 Guardians in the area. Now an empty backfield and 5 receivers for Devon Dudley. 27-12 our score. Dudley is going to air it out. He's got Martez Hall.
Ooh, that would have went for 6 if he caught it.
Overthrew him.
That would have definitely went for 6.
Both young quarterbacks just missing on passes tonight. Dylan Zahn in the first half had Ethan Smith on one, or John Morris, and Michael Haggerty on another. He had them wide open and just overthrew them, then underthrew Haggerty there on the interception. And Martez Hall was wide open, and he has proven he's got some jets. And if he catches that, that's a touchdown. But Dudley, with just a little too much oomph, throws it out of the outstretched hands of Hall. And now Jackson will be on to punt. Back to return is Edwards, who stands at his 46 to catch it. Short punt from Jackson, and Edwards, who had to come up from about the 30-yard line, fielding it at about the 46, takes it forward. And they will start, the Guardians that is, will start at the 44-yard line of the Knights. So again, another short field for the Guardians. See if Coach Pitts goes back to the air after the interception from Zahn, or if he goes to the ground. If I'm him, I think I give my quarterback the confidence and let him throw again quickly.
You think so?
Zahn's in the shotgun, and he's going to hand it off to Edwards. Edwards wraps it up with 2 arms and gets across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Yeah, I mean, young quarterback, and you're up by 15 as the clock continues to tick down here to 10:45 in the third quarter. If I'm him, maybe a couple runs, but let Zahn throw again so he doesn't lose his confidence. Although Zahn doesn't appear to let these things kind of affect him. He's in the shotgun, and he is going to pass, and he's going deep again, and this time it's Amir Carter, and he just misses the target. 3 Knights in the area, but Carter was wide open. Zahn just missed him. 10:28 remaining here in the third quarter. 27-12 is our score. Early on, it was a little bit back and forth, and then the Guardians took over with touchdowns from Edwards, Haggerty, and Edwards on the punt return. Zahn again in the shotgun, Edwards in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left, and that is Michael Haggerty. He's going to pitch it out to Edwards, and he turns on the boosters and brings it across the 35 down to the 30-yard line. And that's going to be good enough for a first down for the Guardians as the chains continue to move here.
Just going back to the regular play calling here. Nice little option.
First and 10 Guardians at the Knights' 29-yard line.
Zahn rolling out to his right, and he's going to go deep. He's got a man in the end zone. That's Ethan Smith, and he catches it. Is that Smith or Stufflebean? I can't see if that's number 11 or number 14. It's Michael Stufflebean with the catch, not Ethan Smith. My apologies to Mr. Stufflebean, but a beautiful throw and beautiful catch. And SMA comes out and strikes quickly, making it 33-12, and Max Ellis will be on for the point after.
And for the extra point, number 6, Max Ellis, holding number 5.
29-yard touchdown pass from Zahn to Stufflebean. And Ellis kicks and splits the uprights to make it 34-12. And St. Michael's has opened up a can here early on in the third quarter as it's 34-12.
I think what they said, we have a deep ball, we're not afraid to use it.
Yeah, and Zahn, again, having thrown some interceptions, we've seen at least against St. Pius and Central. And then in this game, when he's had to go deep, sometimes underthrows a guy. Doesn't do it that time. If he was going to miss, he was going to miss long. But Stufflebean doing a 360 and running backwards for a little bit and finally brings it down. 29-yard touchdown pass from Zahn to Stufflebean. And the PAT from Ellis is good. That makes it 34-12. Now, if you're Coach Foster, it's time to get the ball moving down the field with potentially some yardage and fast.
And dynamic displays. Bill and Nancy Bass, thank you for your support.
Ellis will kick off. Dremel Jackson again had the 94-yard kickoff return earlier, and they've kind of stayed away from him since then.
Yeah, I don't think they're kicking it back off there.
This time they do let it go a little bit over Rayford Park's head, and Dremel picks it up at the 10. Jackson now across the 20, the 25, 30, and he's going to do it again, George. He's at the
2 in the game.
He's gone.
Woo, he's out of here.
30,
He's gone.
20,
He's
10,
gone.
Touchdown.
You could
A
walk.
90-yard touchdown from Dremel Jackson.
Touchdown Southeast.
2 in the game from big Dremel Jackson. That makes it 34-18. And let's see, this time, do they make him, after running 90 yards like that, kick the PAT too? And they're going to set up for the 2-point conversion. This time they're not going to make Mr. Jackson try to kick a football through the uprights. And the Guardians getting some guys onto the field late here, as it's going to be Martez Hall, and he's going to get the 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion is good.
So they're still down 2 scores, though. But, you know, it's not impossible to come back from.
Well, and like we said, they can obviously score quickly.
Yeah.
So down 2 touchdowns here, 34-20. And Mr. Jackson, he's going to be asking for a pay raise from Southeast after this game.
Renegotiate that contract.
2 90-yard plus kickoff returns from Dremel Jackson. That's pretty impressive. I don't believe I've seen somebody, I think it was Dante Hall, return to kickoff and a punt in the same game, but 90-yard kickoff returns in the same game? I don't think I've ever seen that. And they're going to let Rayford Parks kick off so Dremel can rest his legs a little bit more here. Edwards is back to receive, standing at his own 15-yard line. Parks kicks a low line drive over toward John Paul Murphy, and he gets a nice bounce as it rolls out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Flag comes out.
Flag comes out on the kickoff. You can't kick it out of bounds. So we'll be moving it forward just a little bit. 9:48 here in the third quarter, remaining 34-20. The Guardians in charge right now by 2 touchdowns.
Kick is out of bounds, illegal procedure.
Automatically places the ball at the 35-yard line for the Guardians. So a break there. Instead of it being at the 9. They start from the 35 as the ball wobbled out of bounds. Southeast couldn't get down there quick enough to keep it in bounds. Now Zahn with 2 backs in the backfield with him. Hands it off. This is Ellis Edwards across the 40, the 50. A big run from Ellis Edwards of about 16 yards here to get things started, and he moves the ball into Knight's territory.
It doesn't take him long to switch the field. It really doesn't.
One move and he goes. And that's what you hear constantly in NFL broadcasts is they make that one move and they go, and that's what Ellis has been able to do time and time again as we've watched him, and especially here this evening. Ball on the 49-yard line of the Knights. Zahn in the shotgun, and we're going to have offsides. That'll be 5 yards, moving it over to the 44 for the Guardians. So again, free yardage without having to do anything. That's a big, big no-no.
That's a drive enhancer.
That's right. A DED. It's not a drug, though, is it? It's a drive-enhancing drug. A DEP. We'll call it a drive-enhancing penalty.
All right, DEP.
They are testing positive for DEPs right now. Zahn keeps the ball himself, gets across the 45, maybe down to the 43, and a late flag. Let's see what the call is. Is there a face mask maybe in there?
Quarterback keeper by number 3, Dylan Zahn. Gain of a yard on the play. There is a penalty.
Makes it right now. Yep, personal foul. And is it going to be the 15-yard variety or the 5-yard variety?
It's a 15er.
15-yard penalty with the personal foul. So more DEPs, drive-enhancing penalties coming from the Knights here.
First down.
And that's going to move the ball from the 44 all the way down to the 32-yard line. I'm sorry, the 27-yard line. So he advanced it to the 42, and then the 15-yard penalty tacked on. So a 15-yard penalty, and Zahn and company take up there. Hand off to Ellis Edwards across the 20, the 15, and then brought down at the 10-yard line. And he is picking up huge chunks of yardage at a time.
Every time he touches the ball, you know.
That time a run of 16 yards from Edwards. They mark him down at the 11 from the 27. Edwards coming out for a break, and the Guardians are looking to strike back quickly here after the 90-yard touchdown return from Dremel Jackson. Zahn with Caleb Briggs behind him, and there it is again. Big number 50, Terry Baker, with the offsides penalty. They just continue to give up free yardage here on this drive alone. That's 25 yards. Two offsides and the personal foul.
They are testing positive.
The ball on the 6-yard line. Zahn keeps it himself. Tries to go up the middle, and he's going to be brought down there from Dremel Jackson, among others. And they're going to mark him down at the 5, so no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Goal to go on the 5-yard line.
Gain of a yard on the play. Brought down by number 6, Dremel Jackson, and number 3, Rayford Parks. 2nd down and 4 for the Guardians.
And it's not goal to go. I'm sorry, the first down marker is at the 1-yard line, so it's 2nd and 4. This time the handoff goes nowhere.
Just pretty much stuffed.
As Caleb Briggs is given the ball, and he was stuffed, met immediately at the 5-yard line, maybe lost a half a yard. So that's going to make it about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Zahn in the shotgun, and Edwards back in the game. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the top of your screen. Zahn checking out as the defense is moving around, seeing if they want to get an audible in. Turns back, receives the snap. A little pass over the middle to Nicholas Haggerty as the fake handoff went to Ellis Edwards, and Haggerty just couldn't get up high enough. So they send on the field goal unit. That's going to be Max Ellis.
Field goal for the Guardians, number 6, Max Ellis. The holder, number 5, Cam Zahn.
Dylan's younger brother will be holding the kick for him, and they're going to be kicking from about the 14, so we'll call it a 23, 24-yard field goal attempt for Ellis. Snap back, ball down, kick up, plenty of leg, right through the middle, and it's 37 to 14.
Left in the third quarter, it's the Guardians 37, the Knights 20.
37-20, I'm sorry. I forgot about the 90-yard field return.
How'd you forget about that?
I don't know. It happened so fast.
Tomorrow, the cross-country teams in action in the Battle of Lexington.
7:29 remaining here in the third quarter. 37-20 our score.
High School. That game is at 4 o'clock. Volleyball, varsity volleyball is in a Mill Valley tournament tomorrow. JV is in Fort Osage tournament tomorrow. JV and varsity volleyball takes on Summit Christian next Wednesday.
Dremel Jackson back to return again, and my guess
I don't think they're kicking it back to him.
is it's not going to him. I would not kick it to him. I'll take Rayford Parks. Looks like number 32 is out there to receive as well, and I don't see his number on the roster.
Trying to get an onside
kick, and the Knights are all over that, and it's actually recovered on about the 48-yard line. That's recovered by number 28, Robert Yancey. So it'll be on the 49 or the 48-yard line. No, they're going to mark it on the 50. Okay. Clearly fell right at the 48, but okay, we'll take it back to the 50. Devon Dudley back under center. One running back in the backfield with him. Two receivers near side, one at the top of your screen. They're going to have to get some scoring going quick, and maybe an offsides flag there, as looks like maybe Caleb Berry jumped, or Amir Carter, one of the two, and it is offside.
Southeast got a drive enhancer right there.
Amir Carter on the early jump. 7:27. Be 1st and 5 at the 45-yard line. Dudley will have Parks and Hall in the backfield with him. Now Parks comes up, set off the line. Dudley still in the shotgun. 7:27 remaining. Drops back, he's going to pass, and boy, right in the hands of Dremel Jackson. And I got to tell you, man, if he catches that, he had an open field in front of him as they did a little slant pass. It'll be 2nd and 5, but just too much mustard on that front.
He tried to thread the needle there. I mean, but he had to. He had two defenders on him.
Yeah. Dremel falls trying to catch the ball, but man, if he catches that in stride and tucks that with his speed, what we've seen already, that's a home run. Foster calling in the play from the sideline. Dudley pointing out a couple of things. Now he's going to throw, and this one's coming over to the side. And nothing doing there as Cameron Stacker with the reception. And they actually lose a yard on the play. That's going to make it 3rd and 6.
Cameron Stacker, loss of a yard on the play. Tackle on the play by
I like the short passes, but maybe not backwards. Not very often you see a pass completed with nobody getting touched for a loss. I've seen passes completed and the guy tackled for the loss, but he threw it where Stacker had to catch it and go down to the ground to get it. Maybe it would have been better if just let it go. Martez Hall next to Moore. Now a little pass again. They try the same play on the opposite side, and Stacker can't bring it down. And depending on, he threw it backwards, so that's a yard, that's lost yardage, equivalent of
another empty drive here, Jeremy.
Yeah. So they lose 7 yards on that play.
lateral. Recovered.
As he threw it behind the line of scrimmage, so equivalent to essentially, I guess, the fumble. So Dremel Jackson back to punt. Ellis Edwards standing on his 14, ready to receive it. (37-20) our score, 6 minutes and counting here in the third quarter. Jackson with no pressure, a kick, and it's going to be short as it drops at about the 35 and then bounces backwards for the Guardians, where the Knights recover it on around the 37-yard line. So not a great punt, but they kept it out of the dangerous hands of Ellis Edwards.
Yep.
And for the first time in a little while, the Guardians are having to start with a drive that's going to have to go more than 50 yards. Homecoming night here for the Guardians, and so far they're doing pretty good. And Caleb Berry, the senior, congratulations on homecoming king. Zahn drops back, and he's going to go that long pass down the side. He's got John Paul Murphy, and maybe Cameron Stacker got a finger on it and disrupted it, but John Paul Murphy was there at about the 20-yard line, and if he catches that, I'm not sure he runs it in, but
Definitely a nice
long
game.
pass, yeah. Stacker, if he didn't get it, if he didn't touch it, at least got a hand on it or a hand in the face of Paul Murphy. And they're going to try the same play. This time it's Hayes Dunnell, and he's wide open. Catches it, breaks free, and finally brought down at about the 18-yard line is where they officially mark him. So they have tried that play over and over and over and over tonight, at least the pass down the sideline. And
Finally has some
Hayes Dunnell with the reception. He brings it in. They get a little success.
I mean, see that one, they just caught the defense off guard there.
Yeah, I was watching Cameron Stacker as he came up to the line, and he was not ready. He was just getting into position, and the play had already started. And I think it just caught him off guard. And Hayes Dunnell has got great speed, and he just took off. And this time Zahn connects. And it looked like, for all intents and purposes, even though he caught it, he was going to be tackled quickly, but he spun out of the tackle and gained another 5 or 6 yards afterwards. So good effort from Samil Hayes Dunnell.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he wanted to score on that play.
And that's my recollection, at least since the games we've called. That's the first pass reception I've seen Hayes Dunnell get. So maybe trying out some new people. John Paul Murphy, then Hayes Dunnell. Previously had been Haggerty a couple of times. Ethan Smith, John Morris.
Oh, I see a mismatch, Jeremy. I think I know where the ball was going. I see a mismatch.
Haggerty standing next to Cameron Stacker, and Haggerty looks like he's 3 feet taller. So let's see if Zahn points that out. Nope, they're going to run it. Zahn keeps it, goes across the 15, down to the 10, still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line. So a good gain from Cameron Zahn. That should be enough for a first down. And it is. Well, maybe not.
I thought it was. Yeah, it's a first.
Okay, yeah, first down.
10 on the play.
I say it sure looked like the first.
Yeah, it looked like he got past the first down marker, and they finally dropped the chain. So it'll be first and goal from the 9-yard line. Zahn under center this time. He's going to fake the handoff to Edwards, looking for somebody in the end zone. It's Nicholas Haggerty. He bobbled it. They call it good. Touchdown. Nicholas Haggerty is second of the night.
Woo! 9-yard touchdown.
That was real close.
Boy, he was bobbling that ball. We'll call it good because the referee said so. Second touchdown for Haggerty, Nicholas Haggerty, not Michael, who's had the other touchdowns, as we call the Haggerty brothers usually. It's Michael Haggerty with the touchdowns. Tonight, it's Nicholas Haggerty with 2 of them. Now Max Ellis in to kick the point after, and he's been pretty good all night long with the exception of the blocked PAT, and this one is good. So Zahn to Haggerty has been a good connection tonight. Maybe they found a new weapon in Nicholas Haggerty with the 9-yard touchdown reception, the PAT. It is now 44-20, and things are getting out of hand quickly with 5:19 remaining in the third quarter rather.
So, Jeremy, if you're Southeast, what are you thinking here?
I still think because of their athletic abilities and speed, I still think that the 5 and 10-yard passes are the way to go. But they haven't been able to convert on that either. So they may have to run the ball a little bit just to get something moving and to get the Guardians, you know, maybe you lull them in with a couple of runs and then do something with the touchdown or the pass, rather.
Yeah.
But they are, according to all the stats we have, they are a pass team. They average twice as many yards through the air as they do on the ground so far this year. But so far they have not been able to defend the receivers of the Guardians, and they've not been able to commit much. Boy, that was close. Max Ellis kicking the onside kick and then ran up and did some blocking like he was blocking out for a rebound.
He tried to Pat McAfee that thing.
Yes, he did. Martez Hall there to recover the ball at his own 47-yard line. But, yeah, I think if I'm Coach Foster, I'm just, instead of the passes out to the side like they've been doing, I'm trying to hit quick slants over the middle. Just little 5-yard, 7-yard passes.
They've had some success with this. Yeah, they've had some success there. They probably should go back to it.
Yeah, all the passes, though, especially on the last drive, were out to the side, almost laterals. So I'm not understanding why he's not hitting those slants, because these receivers are very fast. And Dudley has proven he's got the arm to get it there. And see there again, the pass to the side, and it's, you know, if he catches that, there are, as you look, 3 Guardians right there.
Right.
I just want my receivers to go upfield a little bit and maybe break one into the middle of the field at about 5 yards if I'm Coach Foster. That's the pass I'm looking for.
See, but that on this previous play, you know, he had a lot of pressure coming to him, so he's probably just panicked a little bit and
he
just
is
wanted
a freshman. Yeah, he's probably not used to the pressure of these guys coming down his throat, but I'm trying to hit the quick slants. Sends Parks in motion. It's a little pitch to him, and he's met in the backfield, almost brought down there. Spins away from a tackle and then is hammered.
Hello.
By Michael Haggerty at the 50-yard line. Jackson Wimberly almost brought him down in the backfield for a loss, and Rayford Parks spun away from that.
It almost seemed like he was running forever there just to try to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, everything we're seeing is out to the sides. Now, when we had, it was Diamond last week was able to get some action on the sides, but it's not working tonight. I just think if I'm, again, I'd be going over the middle with these passes with the arm of my quarterback and some of the speed of these receivers, especially in Jackson and Hall. And Hall's been playing a lot of running back tonight, but he's got the speed as well. We're going to get the handoff, and he slips in the backfield, does Hall, and he's down. So just the breaks not going their way, and that'll be it.
Another empty drive.
Yeah.
They really got to start, moving the ball and getting some points on the board if they even want to remotely come back here.
Loss of a couple on the play as Martez just slipped and went right to his knee, so that'll be a punt. Dremel Jackson back to punt. Ellis Edwards to receive. 4th and 12, 4th and 10, 4th and 12 is what the official is. The board says 4th and 10. Now it's 4th and 12. Edwards being signaled to come up. And Dremel delays on the punt there just for a minute. And the ball's going to get a Knights bounce and be stopped and fallen on there by Daniel De La Cruz, and it's at the 33-yard line. So 67-yard drive for pay dirt, that is, for the Guardians. 3:35 left here in the third quarter. Much bigger crowd than what we're used to, at least with COVID right now, as some of the restrictions being released. There's Chandler Prosser with his first action of the night, and he brings it up to the 35.5-yard line. But homecoming night here for the SMA Guardians. We've got a good crowd on hand, a lot of the alumni here. We had our homecoming king and queen crowned at halftime. The king going to Caleb Berry, who right now is on the offensive line for the Guardians. Zahn in the shotgun. He's going to pitch it out to Chandler Prosser. He's got a little room to run. He's at the 40 and brought down at the 49-yard line. Basically a one-arm tackle there.
Those are dangerous.
By number 11, Anthony Fuqua.
Takes the ball to the 49-yard line. That's good enough for another Guardian first down.
But, you know, SMA's, you know, scheme has not wavered at all.
By number 11, Anthony Fuqua.
No, they have 5 or 6 plays they run, and they run them very well. And this one's going to go to Prosser, exact same play as last time. Prosser across the 45, down to the 40, and all the way down to the 34-yard line of the Knights. A big run from Chandler Prosser back to back. That's going to be a good for another first down, 15-yard gain from Prosser.
Anthony Fuqua.
Fuqua on the tackle again.
Another Guardian first
He's
down.
been a busy man in the secondary as the Guardian runners have consistently broken through the line and the linebackers. Now Zahn is going to pass. He's got a man. That's John Morris. He was at the 25. He broke away from a tackle and brings it all the way down to the 7-yard line. So good pass from Zahn to Morris. He was the only one that could have caught that, and then breaks the tackle to gain a little bit more after the catch. And now with the ball on the 7-yard line, the Guardians are threatening again. Quickly moving down the field with 2:24 and counting here in the third quarter. Zahn in the shotgun, Ellis Edwards behind him. He's going to pitch it to Edwards, and he's got no one near him. That's a 7-yard touchdown as Edwards gallops in. Touchdown SMA.
Good enough for a 7-yard Guardian touchdown.
The score now goes to 50-20. And now I think if you're Coach Foster, you start throwing homers.
Number 5.
The game got away from you.
Ellis on to kick the PAT. Snap back, ball down, kick is up and low, but very good. And it is now 51-20.
2:13 left in the third quarter. Guardians 21.
2:13 remaining here in the third quarter. And SMA, after trailing 7-12, first time I can recall them trailing in the games I've called since St. Pius, all the way back at the beginning of September, have exploded. Since then, take 7 off 51, it is 44-8. That's so since trailing 7-12, the Guardians have outscored the Knights 44-8. And the cheerleaders are back at it for doing the jumping jacks for every point scored. Some of them really have good form. Others look like they're slacking off, George.
Here, need to shape up down there.
Yeah. Gonna have to go talk to a few of them about maximum effort. Max Ellis with the little pooch kick. This is going to be recovered by Martez Hall at the 41-yard line. They're going to move it forward to the 42.
Southeast takes over.
2:11 now in the third quarter. Clock is stopped. 1st and 10. Von Dudley.
We'd like to thank our business partners, the Silver Group, Central Bank of the Midwest, Truman Medical Centers in Lakewood, and TPC Interiors. Thank you for support of St. Michael the Archangel Catholic High School.
Oh, a little miscommunication back there.
Dudley is sacked. Miscommunication, obviously, on that call. I'm sorry, Dudley was not sacked. The handoff was handoff to Robert Yancey, who was stopped in the backfield by Zach Berry. Interesting play call, running it when you're down by 31. This is going to be a handoff.
I mean, you would think they would just try to air it out here.
Looks like Tyler McQuarters was your carrier, and he didn't gain much, if any. It'll be 3rd and 14 with 1:20 remaining.
Number 38, Chandler Frostler. Gain of no gain on the play. 3rd down and 14.
Devon Dudley in the shotgun. His team trailing by 31 here with about a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. He's going to pass, and he's going long down the field, and he's going to come up short. And there's a flag.
There was a lot of contact down there.
And that was Dremel Jackson on the sideline. The flag comes in late, and the pass was way underthrown. I'm kind of surprised on that penalty, to be honest with you. I'm not sure that was even catchable, but lots and lots of contact from the Guardians on Jackson as the ball was headed his way. And Jackson had clearly overrun the pass, and Dudley had underthrown it, but they call it anyway. And they're bringing it back.
Whoa, what's going on down there?
Oh, there they go. Okay. I was like, what? Did they call it offensive pass interference? No, they did not. So
is that a thing?
It's a 15-yard penalty. Yeah, there's offensive pass interference.
Huh.
You played professional football, George.
You just don't see it too often.
So I'll talk about a brain fart.
I would say so.
Yeah. At the 46-yard line now of the Guardians. Just for a second there, the refs were walking backwards. The teams were moving backwards. I thought, what in the world? All right. Dudley back in the shotgun. He's got 3 running backs in the backfield with him. He hands it off to number 28. And that's Robert Yancey, and he gains maybe a yard on the play as we approach 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. 51-20 is our score. And, you know, just like what we've seen in some of these other blowouts from the Guardians, there's just no urgency.
No.
I'm not seeing the Knights like, hey, we got to get moving here, guys.
Since the urgency was gone, you know, it's almost like they just took it from them.
I'd be running up to the line or telling my guys, get up to the line. We got to get a play off quickly. You know, time's not on our side here. Dudley airs one out. The intended receiver was James Spencer, who looked like he just gave up on the route and was nearly picked off. As Caleb Briggs and Samuel Hayes-Dunnell was in the area. So the play, incomplete pass, stops the clock with 9.5 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. A little conversation going on now with the officials as maybe the ball is not marked in the right place. There we go. I'll pull it forward. It was back a yard. Now we put it back on the 45. 3rd and 9, 9.5 seconds to go. Again, I think if I'm a Knights fan, I just want my team to look like they're fighting still, but maybe they've had it beat out of them. There's the slant over the middle, or coming over the middle, and it's dropped by Dremel Jackson. That's going to make it 4th down and 9, but that's the pass that's been there for them.
All night seems like.
Dremel's dropped a couple of those, but one of them went for a touchdown to Rayford Parks early in the 1st quarter. Just that pass right over the middle, and if he hits those guys in stride, they can take it quick. Just not good hands on that play from Jackson. And that's been a couple on him, like I said, where he was open, ball hit him right in the hands, and he just dropped it. So Dremel is back now to punt, and nobody back to return it for the Guardians. Maybe a little sportsmanship here from Coach Pitts. The ball bounces at the 25, and a really good roll for the Knights as it goes all the way down to the 11-yard line. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. And you can see the score.
51-20.
Guardians 51, the Knights 20. Tomorrow, Baytown South softball tournament. Guardians play for 3rd place.
So if I'm Coach Foster and the Knights, I'm just looking for any signs of life, guys. Let's try to win this quarter if we can. If I'm Coach Pitts, probably not a lot through the air. I just want the clock to keep moving, get my guys off the field, move to 500, be 3-3, and go get ready for my game next week. They will be playing Hogan Prep Charter. That's an away game. And I believe we get the call on that one. Since it's Kansas City, we still get to call it for you. And we'll be there on the scene unless something changes, bringing it to you live. And that game is scheduled for 1 o'clock next Saturday. And then Clever was supposed to be their final team of the year. And Clever is not able to participate. I don't know if it's a COVID-related thing, but they are not going to fill anything in with that game. So that one's just canceled. So next week, Hogan Prep Charter will be the season finale for the Guardians. And then I'm talking to Chris Berry here, Nicholas and Caleb's dad. Hogan canceled. They're under quarantine. Talking to Zach and Caleb's dad, Chris Berry, here up in the booth, trying to figure out what happened with the schedule, but there is no game on the 23rd. We're looking for a team, but right now there's nothing there. Here comes Prosser across the line all the way to the 25 and still on his feet, and there is going to be a personal foul.
Man.
As Tyler McQuarters hit Prosser way out of bounds, and then a couple of Guardians slam McQuarters to the ground, and we got close to having a little explosion there. You don't do that on the other team sideline with 30 guys surrounding you. I don't think McQuarters realized where he was.
That happens, Jeremy.
But from the 11, he ran it up to the 40, so a nice 29-yard run plus 15 on top of that. As McQuarters just maybe lost track of where he was. Maybe it's frustration, I don't know, but 15 yards on top of the long run from Prosser moves it all the way from the 40 to the 45 now of the Knights. So once again, the Guardians on the march, and 11:50 remaining here in the game. 51-20 is your score. Ellis Edwards is being looked at. George, every game that he's had, as much as he runs the ball and stuff, I've seen him getting attended to by personal trainers quite a bit. And a lot of times it's on his legs, and he does look like he's walking a little gingerly, but Chandler Prosser doing a great job in his stead as he gains another 6 yards, moving it down to the 39-yard line. The clock is moving at 11:40. It'll be...
Well, he's been working all game, Jeremy. He needs a little stretching.
Yeah. But they have taken him down under the tent, and so I'm wondering, he was walking gingerly, but a lot of times when you take him down there, you're looking at it might go into concussion protocol, but Edwards is looking on his phone. I don't know that he's hurt that bad, just maybe needed a break. Chandler Prosser, though, has done an admirable job in his stead. 2 receivers to the top, 1 at the bottom, and we're going to Prosser again, and why not? He's across the 39, maybe picks up a yard. And 11 minutes remaining in the game now. 51-20 Guardians looking to go to 3-3. And mark him down at the 38. It'll be 3rd and 3 to go. Stadium announcer says 4. Yeah, there we go. 3rd down and 3.
You were right.
Yeah. Usually I am, George. Don't tell my wife I said that. Okay, Zahn back in the shotgun now. He's got Haggerty back there with him along with Prosser, and they fake a handoff to both of them. Great blocking, and Zahn slides down and still gets hit. Daniel De La Cruz there. I tell you, that looked like you could have called a penalty there. James Spencer in on it as well.
I think because it happened so quick.
It was quick. All right. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Moves the ball, makes a first down. The ball now resting on the 34-yard line. 10-14 and counting here in the game. 51-20, and you can see the Guardians going into a huddle, taking their time as the play clock has 14 seconds on it. And they're just probably watching that clock, trying to snap it with maybe 3 or 5 seconds on it. getting as much time off the clock as possible. Hand off to Prosser. He goes up the middle, then bounces it out to the left and is tackled there for a loss of a couple of yards.
Number 38, Chandler Prosser.
That was a good read right there. He made an excellent tackle.
3 on the play, brings up second down and 13.
I believe the tackle was
Anthony Fuqua.
James Spencer, number 8 on that tackle.
Was it?
Grabbed the hold of Prosser and slung him to the ground. 9:20 now in the game. Zahn still in the shotgun. Prosser right there next to him by his right hand. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, and Zahn's going to pass. Rolling out to his right. And he slings one to Nicholas Haggerty, who's having himself a heck of a game.
I would say so.
He picks up about 5, moves it to the 30-yard line after the loss of 2, and that's going to make it 3rd.
Correction. Good enough for 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. I thought the stadium announcer was going to call a first down, and I'm looking at the chains. I know it's 3rd and 7, but sometimes he's right too.
But most of the time it's you.
Most of the time. I'd say, 99.8, something like that. I'm not trying to brag. Zahn in the shotgun, Prosser behind him. Little short pass out to the side, and knocked out of bounds is John Morris.
Uh-oh.
And he's out at the 22.
Number 1, Johnny Morris.
It's going to be close to the first down. Let's see what they do.
Getting a little chippy out there if you noticed it, Jeremy.
Yeah. And it is good for the first down. 3rd and 7, and he picked up 7 and a foot. Ball on the 22 now, 8:20 remaining in the game. Again, 19 seconds on the play clock. The Guardians just taking their time, and no timeouts being called by the Knights. I think the proverbial white flag has sort of been waved. Zahn hands off to Prosser. He sheds 1 tackle, gains a couple as he's hit at the 20-yard line by 2 Knights, one of them Terry Baker. And number 9, Kyrie Edwards. Prosser put a lick on him, though. Gained a yard, makes it 2nd and 9 as the ball is at the 21-yard line. 7:30 remaining in the game. I said this when we were watching Central. I think you can start the bus.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Maybe start loading up some of the equipment you're not using. Save yourself some time.
I always got to think progressively.
4 seconds on the play clock.
A little miscommunication down there.
Got number 10 in the game now. Is that Keaton Edgerton or Dominic Roby? It's Dominic Ruby.
I think tackle was made by number 50, Terry Baker.
7 minutes remaining. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 9 as Zahn has come out of the game. Dominic Ruby in the game. Getting some of the guys who don't get to play as much, at least in certain positions, a little bit of experience here. Maybe some of the underclassmen. Ruby now a couple yards behind the center, Caleb Berry. Here's the snap. Hands off to, or pitches out to Chandler Prosser across the 20
but green
15.
grass.
And he's tackled down at the 12, maybe just shy of the 12, which is going to make it awful close for a first down. And you know Coach Pitts will go for it if it's 4th and inches. And they're going to mark him down at the 13, so that makes it 4th and 1 with the ball at the 13-yard line. And he was pushed out of bounds, so 6:32 on the clock, and that's where it's at. 51-20. Guardians getting the victory tonight at homecoming night. Caleb Berry, the center, as well as defensive lineman, your homecoming king. Ruby with the snap, pitches it out to Prosser. Prosser coming around to the right side, to the 10, to the 5. And he's knocked down there by number 6, Dremel Jackson, the man of 2 90-plus yard kickoff return touchdowns tonight. So it'll be 1st and goal to go at the 5-yard line now for the Guardians with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the game. Again, taking their sweet time are the Guardians just to get this game going, and the Knights have not calling any timeouts, letting the clock continue to roll as Dominic Ruby takes the snap, hands it off to Prosser, and Prosser spins away from one tackle, gets down to about the 3, maybe the 2.5-yard line. And it's got to go to Prosser for the touchdown, right? He's doing all the work here.
Yeah, he's been doing all the work here. Uh-oh, we got someone down out there.
May just be a lot of exhaustion. Number 70, Antonio Woodson, 6'3", 273 junior. Woo. 5:48 remaining in the game. Now, last week what we saw was a drive very similar to this toward the end of the game, and instead of running it in for the touchdown, Coach Pitts just took a knee.
Yeah.
Showing some sportsmanship, not running up the score.
I think he's cramping out there.
But in this instance, I think I give my younger guys a chance to put one in the pay dirt. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. They've been working hard for it, and you're right there.
Yeah, and they, because of whether they're the backup or underclassmen or whatever it is, they don't get the chance to score much.
No, they don't.
I'd let especially Chandler Prosser, who's done, all year long I've been impressed with his running. Ellis Edwards is obviously the man, but Prosser has come in on a handful of occasions and eaten up big yardage and chewed up a lot of clock. He is a tough runner for the Guardians. He's not the biggest of guys out there, but man, he is hard to bring down. And they look like they are looking at the ankle of Antonio Woodson. So we talked about it a little bit a minute ago. St. Michael the Archangel will go to 3-3 next week. At 1 o'clock, they play Hogan Prep Charter in Kansas City. That's an away game, and I believe we will be bringing that game to you, so happy to do that. For the Southeast boys, they will move on. Right now, I show their record being 3-3. They have a couple of games left. They'll play next Friday at Summit Christian Academy, and then round out their season on the 23rd with Lincoln College Prep. Summit Christian Academy is a handful. Antonio Woodson being helped off the field, and it does look like it's maybe his right ankle or knee. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, let's hope it's nothing serious. Injuries are never good.
So the Knights will fall to 3-4, and SMA will even it out after starting the season 0-3. Will push back to 500 and make it 3-3. And those Summit Christian Academy Eagles, as I said, are a handful. They defeated the Guardians 31-13 in the season opener. And I've seen Summit Christian Academy on a lot of these opposing teams' schedules, and they have been handing it to people this year. So they've got a good program going over there in Lee Summit. So back to play, here we go. 5:48 remaining in the game, 51-20 our score. And this is it's the Knights ball.
We had a Tom Brady moment. We know it was 4th down.
It must have been 4th down.
You seen that game?
Yes, I saw. He thought it was 4th down. It was 5th down, Tom. That only happens when you're Buffalo playing against the Tigers. There's a Missouri Tigers reference for you. So it was 4th down, and turn it over on downs again. Devon Dudley in the game. Handoff, and
fumble.
The ball is fumbled. Let's see who picked it up. Looks like the Knights immediately fell on it. So we've seen a couple of those, just little miscues. Robert Yancey fumbled it and fell on it. So no harm, no foul, except that they lose the down and don't really pick much up. It'll be 3rd and 7 at the 6-yard line with 4:55 and ticking. I could have swore that was 3rd and 1. I guess not. Here comes Rayford Parks around the corner. I'm sorry, number 20. And we don't have, that's Robert Yancey. Was it number 20?
Number 28.
Robert Yancey. We don't have, I saw number 20, and I don't have a name by that number. I don't have that number on their roster. But a nice run by Yancey. He picked up 18 yards as the ball sits now on the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, 4:25 remaining in the game. Coach Foster still electing not to throw the ball as he hands it off to Yancey again, and Yancey staying on his feet, keeping the legs moving all the way up to the 33. So some good running from Robert Yancey here, a sophomore, 5'10", 165. 4 minutes remaining in the game, and the clock still running, as I think both teams have kind of accepted the outcome of this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Which is unfortunate. You know, this game really started off to be a nice one.
It did. It looked like we were going to have some fireworks tonight, but the Guardians are just, tonight, too much as they overwhelm the Knights. Here's a handoff to Isaiah Burks, who's still on his feet, hasn't gained any yardage. Now he turns it up the field.
Where was he at all night?
I don't know if he got enough for the first down. We're going to have to take a peek here.
I think he did.
Pretty close. Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
1st and 10 as the ball rests now on the 35-yard line with 3:26. And the clock will start here again at 3:20 and running now. But it looked like we had a ball game on our hands there for at least 6 minutes. And then the Guardians turned on the engine and have left the Knights in the dust. Yancey still on his feet, an impressive run, and then he's met aggressively by a Guardian.
That's an adjective.
Stopped. Gunnar McTammy with the nice stop there. A gain of a couple of yards, 2:40 remaining now in the game. .230 remaining in the game. Now Dudley finally is going to take the snap, and we got offsides there as John Garside got a little anxious and jumped off.
DEP.
5-yard penalty moves it up, makes it 2nd and 4. 2:31 remaining on the clock. Maybe trying to get somebody to jump off sides again was Dudley, but he doesn't get it. Now he's going to call the play out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Yancey again, who's across the 50, down to the 45, still on his feet, and finally thrown to the ground. Number 76, Jackson McGee on the tackle there. 2:20 remaining, 2:22 as the chains move, and then they'll get them started again as soon as they're in place. There we go, 2:20 remaining in the game. Nice run from Mr. Yancey again.
1st and 10 for the Knights at the Guardian 43-yard line.
They move it into their territory. In the backfield is Yancey and Isaiah Burks. 2 receivers to the top, 1 at the bottom of your screen. Handoff goes to Yancey again across the 40 and brought down at about the 38-yard line. And we are under 2 minutes now for the remainder of the game.
I still want to see him air it out.
Yeah, I would. I'm confused, you know, what we saw them warming up with and the gun that he obviously has. And the success I saw with those dropped passes that are slants, the one turned into a touchdown. I'm just confused as to why that wasn't utilized a little bit more. Now here's a backward pass to Isaiah Burks. He scampers across the 30, the 20, and he may go. He's brought down, just caught before he was completely unreachable.
That was the first time they ran that way.
It was Diego Setzer.
23, Diego Setzer.
So the ball down to the 11-yard line, and Isaiah Burks has got some wheels. He was moving. Dudley gets the snap, hands it off. It looks like it's Yancey again, and he's going to score from 10 yards out. Robert Yancey, and the Knights are on the board with just 1 minute remaining, and you hear almost no audience reaction whatsoever because, like I said, this has kind of been a foregone conclusion for a little while.
People are actually starting to leave here.
Reminder, there are no fans, no spectators on the field or the track at the conclusion of the game.
They're going to try the 2-point conversion. So 3 in the backfield with Dudley. Two receivers. Dudley takes the snap. He's going to throw. You got a man over there, and he catches it.
There you go. That's what we saw in warm-ups.
Yeah.
You know, that is same exact play as what we saw in warm-ups, but that was the first time they run at this game.
Trying to see who the catch was, too. I believe that was Dremel Jackson.
2-point conversion is good. Defended on the play by number 12, Bryson Jacoby.
Got about a minute left here, Jeremy. What are you doing, taking a knee?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that they've had 2 timeouts this whole time and never stopped it. So, you know, they kind of, they being the Knights, have accepted the result. And Coach Pitts has shown good sportsmanship. He showed it to Diamond last week. I think he's going to show it again here. I don't think Southeast is going to call timeouts. Being down 51-28 with 1 minute on the board. So they might try an onside kick just to
see what they can
have
get.
some fun or practice something or see if they might be able to get something going with just a minute left to try to do something or keep it out of the Guardians' hands. But I don't see Coach Pitts doing much of anything. Now, again, he's got his younger backup players in there, so he may give them a chance to do some things or work on some plays. Ethan Smith has replaced Ellis Edwards on the return. He's standing at his 15-yard line. Let's see what Dremel Jackson does on the kick here. It's just a squib kick up the middle. Squigs past John Morris, who didn't let Ethan Morris pick it up. He was back to return it, and Morris just jumped on it. Falls down, the ball's dead at the 16, 17-yard line. So 58.9 seconds now. Dominic Ruby was the quarterback in our last series. Let's see who takes over as quarterback this time. It's done. They're sending out Dylan Zahn. On homecoming night, maybe letting him handle the kneel downs. And a timeout by the Knights. That's a weird time to call it. Could have called it to stop the clock a little, or but nope, needing to do it now. Maybe Coach Foster just reminding his guys, they just send in their starting quarterback. Let's not get caught for an easy touchdown. Since we think the game is over, let's
on this prevent
strong.
Defense, I would.
Homecoming queen and homecoming king tonight, Emily Roddy and Kayla Berry. Congratulations. It's good to be a Guardian.
I don't know if you could hear that from the stadium announcer, but Kayla Berry is the homecoming king, the center right now, or was the center. I believe he's still out on the field. And they do go into the kneel down formation. Zahn takes the snap and goes to a knee. They'll have to do it at least one more time. Kayla Berry, your homecoming king, and Emily Rogge, your homecoming queen for SMA. Good that these things still are getting to happen. I know they're probably altered from what normally transpires on homecoming weekend, but hopefully the kids are getting to do something. Another kneel down from Zahn, and that
will do
should do it.
The final snap. Final score, Guardians.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It is 51-28. The SMA Guardians go to 3-3 now and win this game 51-28. Let's go through some stats for you here real quick. like I said, in that first quarter, George and I thought we were going to have a game, as it was 12-7 after the first quarter. Southeast had the lead. It started off this way as the Guardians won the coin toss and deferred the kickoff to the Knights, and the Knights had the ball on the 10-yard line, and it was Martez Hall who fumbled on the 9. The Guardians take over, and one play later, Ellis Edwards goes in for the 4-yard touchdown. The point after is good. 10:52 on the clock. It's 7-0, and we look like we're on our way to a blowout maybe from the Guardians. But the kickoff, just 20 seconds later, is returned for 96 yards from Dremel Jackson. And then the PAT, which he had to kick, which I'm sure he had no leg for, is no good. So it's 7-6. Then Southeast gets a 57-yard touchdown pass from Devon Dudley to Dremel Jackson, or rather Rayford Parks, for 57 yards. And the PAT, the conversion run from Dremel Jackson for the 2 points, is no good. And so our score is 12-7. Then with 4:57 remaining in the second quarter, Ellis Edwards runs for 3 yards, touchdown. The point after was blocked by the Knights, so it was no good. 13-12 is our score at that point. And we still have a couple minutes left in the first half. And you think, okay, we're going to half. It's 13-12.
Right.
It's going to be kind of an exciting second half. Let's see what happens. Well, then they get the ball back, the Guardians do, and Dylan Zahn pass complete to Nicholas Haggerty, who had a couple of great receptions on that drive for 5 yards. The point after is good, and all of a sudden it's 20-12. And then 36 seconds later,
36 seconds
Dremel
later,
Jackson punts the ball to the Guardians' 21-yard line, and Ellis Edwards returns it for 79 yards. The PAT is good. And just in the matter of 36 seconds, the score goes from 13-12 to 27-12, and that's our halftime score. So we thought just for a minute there we had a good game. It's going to be close, nip and tuck all the way through. And in less than a minute, the Guardians blow this game wide open at halftime. It's 27-12. During halftime, Caleb Berry, the senior, is crowned homecoming king, and Emily Rogge, the homecoming queen. Then in the third quarter, Dylan Zahn pass complete to Michael Stufflebean for 29 yards. The point after is good. It's 34-12. Now, Mr. Ellis, again, Max Ellis this time too, and it says Max Ellis, kickoff is to the 11-yard line. Dremel Jackson, who had the 96-yard touchdown return earlier, brings this one back for 89 yards. The 2-point conversion is good from Dremel Jackson running it in, and now it's 34-20. So we think, okay, maybe
we're game on our hands.
Back in this thing here. The Guardians march the ball down the field with 7:29 left on the clock. They have to kick a field goal, 22 yards out. It's good, 37-20. So things still aren't out of hand. But then, as they do, the Guardians score quickly back-to-back. Dylan Zahn, a pass to Nicholas Haggerty for his second touchdown of the night, 9 yards. Point after is good, and it's all of a sudden 44-20. And then just 3 minutes later, Ellis Edwards runs one in from 7 yards out. The PAT is good. It's 51-20. And then if you were here with us just a moment ago, Robert Yancey ran one out from 11 yards for the Knights, and the 2-point conversion to Dremel Jackson is good, and it makes our final score 51-28. Total offense on the night, the Guardians 455 yards. Southeast just 151.
Is that a season high?
That very well could be a season high. I don't remember what their total was last week, but 455 yards. They ran 63 plays. The Knights ran 49. It's just the difference is the yards per play, 3.1 for the Knights, 7.2 for the Guardians. 184 yards through the air for the Guardians, 97 for the Knights. 271 yards rushing for the Guardians, 54 for the Knights. 184-97 through the air, and 271-54. That's not going to do it. And then here's what we've been talking about with our new coined phrase for performance-enhancing drugs. When you have a DEP, a drive-enhancing penalty, when you're on defense and you help the other team, 12 penalties for 90 yards for the Knights, and that's another big, huge difference in this game. So there you have it, 51-28. What are your final thoughts, George?
Well, like you said, I thought this was going to be a game, but the Guardians just took off with it. They blew it wide open right before the half, and they just never let off the gas. And they really wanted this win. They wanted to win on homecoming, and they did.
Yeah, very, very exciting start to the game. And if you're a Guardians fan, your third game in a row where you just kind of get to sit back and cruise it in as they win big tonight, 51-28. Up next for the Guardians, next Saturday at 1 o'clock, Hogan Prep Charter. Up next for these Knights from Southeast High School, Summit Christian Academy on Friday the 16th at 7 p.m. And then Friday at the October 23rd, they play at home against Lincoln College Prep. So the Guardians move to 3-3. The Knights move to 3-4, and we are all done here from Lee Summit, Missouri, Lee Summit North High School for Cinematic Visions. I am Jeremy Wood, Big George, Grand Pays, George Howard with me in the booth. We have had a great time bringing it to you. We hope you had fun watching it.
It's been
we'll
fun.
See you next week as the Guardians look to go to 4.